Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airways on WNTF. Never mind the furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the love and support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's indcd.org, your one-stop shop for the best of the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. If you are looking for a place to host your great journey into online presence to show off your art and your works and your creativity, there is no finer place nor organization than the Independent Creator Directory. We are also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled the sword to teaching the art to others. And this is where it gets beautiful. Friends, Hates and Hellfire, a dark secret has claimed 2 lives and is hunting an innocent child at the edge of the Appalachian Mountains. Only his aunt, a plucky reporter, her cameraman, the very odd cat, stand against the forces of darkness. But most of all, this is a special one because we are brought to you by this Saturday, IndieCD.com 2, Electric Boogaloo. Now, it is a free-to-attend convention in lovely Fowler, Indiana, at 410 South Aidway, Suite A, Fowler, Indiana, 47944. Technically, it's Suite B, but it doesn't really matter because that's one of those buildings where you can get wherever you need to be. I need to get the new version I put up, but that's okay. Guys, whoop, no, that's there. That needs to go away. Thank you, guys. My friends, my duckies, my loves. You may not know it, but right now life is pretty good. I'm coming at you having totally not hit my alarm clock off and gone back to sleep and then woke up at 9:52. I would never come skating through my house like a deranged madman, running like it's a Vicious Monday Part 2. To try and come skidding in under the line. No, friends, I'm a professional. No, of course I've had one of those mornings. And it will continue to be one of those mornings until it decides it's not, and I'm okay with that. We have a lot to do. I have a lot to discuss. Let's get on to my accountability. I did get a little bit more writing done, and Hates and Hellfire 2 of late has been just squeeze a sentence out and pray it's good enough. which is, a thing, and a lot of shocking con preparations. Now, the good friends at Amazon did send me a letter, little digital dude, telling me that, we're sorry, your delivery will be delayed, which means my stock of books that was supposed to come in will be coming in at some point, someday. It either it will either it will pull the may or may not come in on time. It may pull the famous Saturday afternoon of the con drop off. Amazon loves to do that. But I have more than enough stock on that end to go right on through. Now, today actually is going to be exciting. Today I get to run out to a lovely town called Lucerne. Not Lucerne, Switzerland. Lucerne, Indiana, because a gentleman is selling off his Nerf collection, and it's a good enough deal that I will be able to go pick up a large quantity of blasters, uh, take the ones I am going to donate to the kids, put them in a pile, and possibly sell off a couple of the ones that I have multiple copies of to offset the cost of buying the ones for the kids, which is what I'm looking for in my little project on my side of things when I'm not doing donations, because I love blasters and I have a great many blasters. I will be getting a great many more, but this will help with making sure that there is a vast quantity for the kids this summer, and making sure that I can make it what do I call it? Self-sustaining. Because the Blasters for Books program is something I'm still really big on, and the kids seem to love it. Everybody wins. And if there's anything the kids aren't fully interested in at the library, there is a place I can drop off free stuff for the community. It's called Glimmers of Hope. It is in Fowler, Indiana. So if you ever have a material you want to donate and you don't want to deal with places like Goodwill or the Salvation Army, and you're anywhere in the region, it's a good place. It's a good program for just donating clean anything, basically. And they will either sell it at a moderate price, or to keep their lights on, or they will just let you put it in this huge garage where donations can just go. So there's that. Now, I'm also going to be doing a lot of research today. I have to get my pin printer back up and running because I have a new one. And if that doesn't work, well, then I'll use the old one, and it will just require a lot of crunching and munching and getting it done. So I want to have a new stock of pins. Speaking of pins, this box just came in. And this box is from Mandy, and this box is 8 inches long. I shouldn't tell that; it's one of the great secrets of life. But this is indeed an 8-inch long box, because it contains 8-inch long hat pins. The other great thing on that, which doesn't matter to anyone else but matters to me, I have a hat. I have a hat I have used for selling for I don't know how many years now. It's the very large steampunky top hat. Well, what many people don't know is that hat was made as a prototype. It was never intended to be worn out fully, and it was never intended to be worn repetitively. So, at least 10 years I've been wearing this hat, and the internals may or may not have involved things like an oatmeal box to keep the form, while Mandy was figuring out. And it may currently be one of the hottest temperature-wise hats ever made by anyone, because it is essentially, the core of my lovely hat is a straw, like almost riverboat gambler hat that's been wrapped in corduroy. And that might have been corduroy from an old pair of pants. We won't discuss the origin of the corduroy too much, which by itself is not the breathiest material, but it still has the slightly too small for my noggin uh, internals of the old hat, which it was built around. Mandy has finally decided she is upgrading it. So half of the upgrade, the skeletons of my new hat, of my new old hat, is in the living room right now. I am excited because it should take some weight off my head and actually be attached so I won't constantly have it popping off the top. This is good. This is delightful. I am excited. After the convention, I do have a couple literary projects I need to basically deep dive into that are requested. They are more of the non-fictional variety, uh, because there have been some really interesting requests for discussions on line combat, on low-cost training tech equipment, things like that. So I will be doing a combined book of some of the other skills I have to try to make a very useful reference for people who've been asking for that. I'm really excited about the interest in improvised weaponry and stuff. So I'm going to be doing something towards that. Expect it to be in the style likely of, say, the simple spear or the fighting axe. That statement size, because I like it. And of course, I have none of them in reach. Uh, full, full and glorious black and white, low cost, easy to access manual for the refined and economically challenged martial artist out there, because we are at a time where the economy may be taking some hits, and we have to expect that. We have to roll with that, and part of rolling with that is maintaining, if we have the ability, services to our local community. Um, in other excitement, Earl Park, yeah, is considering having some kind of monthly market thing. Oh my gosh. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Unfortunately, I had to bless Trelena at least 3 times, which means during the commercial break, I may have to give her an exorcism. That or make friends with her new occupant. We'll have to see. But beyond that, there was something else I was going to tell you guys. It was delightful. I'm not sure, but that's okay. Oh yes, that the other is Nick Knows Nerf related. There are a couple the blasters that are in Australia may be finding their way to our shores soon, which means pirate themed blasters for everyone. The price point's $15 for it is a little spicy, But if anybody thinks I'm going to turn down, you know, uh, 4-barrel revolving pirate themed pistols, you don't know me very well, because that means I could shoot our dear friend Richie 4 times at a convention when I am doing my "this is how we deal with large opponents" shtick. So, Rich, that plastron might be a good idea. I'm sure we can find a blue barrel or something with which to make it. Um, that's good. That's good news. Good times. Good things are coming. Beyond that, I am truly excited about the week ahead. It's going to be panicked. It's going to be busy. I have a art stream I have to blast through today. But it's good to be back where I belong. I hope everybody enjoyed the thumbnail I set up for today. I thought it was a cute one. Maddie likes it enough. She may be running off copies to put up and use that as the sign. We will see. But a lot of those things need to happen, and they can't happen until I run an ad, skedaddle, and get properly set up, because I know I'm kind of cozy right now. I did not hit the layout button. So you know what? Before I do that, I will just gladly step back a little bit, breathe the wonderful rainbow gradient that is my program background, just to make sure everybody understands my alliances are as they always have been. Nick, you're not supposed to have caffeine. No, I'm not. Why are you having caffeine? Well, you see, my blurry-eyed Nick, whose eyes don't wake up till about 5 or 10 minutes after I'm awake, could not find his breakfast shakes and needed something to get my pills down right away. So that's why the Mountain Dew, for those of you who are worried. But I have to thank Joey and Trey, because I came skidding in, and bless their hearts, they were sitting there waiting. Apparently they started summoning me. There were Nerf darts and candles, and I believe training weapons involved. Possibly a Vulgate to English Bible. Another one of those things I need. But wait, I shouldn't. I'm retired, at least from that. But what I'm not retired from is promoting these wonderful people. All right, folks, we've got 73 comments in the backlog, and I have to hop, pop, and drop to get through because I have a lot I want to get done today. So let's deal with the comment dumps. First through the door is Foxy at 9:35. Good morning, folks. Good morning, Foxy. How are you doing, darling? Good morning, Trey. And good morning, Donna. How you doing? And Uncle Carl's with us. Good morning. And you're all greeting each other and seeking out coffee. And we're a whole lot of greetings. And we have Foxy giving us our morning Indigo update. Indigo just got its morning trading treats. Woo! And there's Thesis. Hey, Thesis. Hopefully today, while I'm crafting, I will get to watch your review on the Armored Rose. I would love to see what you have to say about that. Hey, Thesis. Hey, Thesis. Donna says, I'm pretty good for a first husband, so I'm batting 50% on that one. And it means she still loves you. Hey, Foxy. So we got greetings from there. And not quite as good as my 2 5-star reviews on Lulu, but more important, I guess. Indeed. 1, congratulations on the 5 stars on Lulu. 2, A humble request, and I know this is a big one. Those of you who have read my books, any of them, if you would be willing to go onto the Zon and give me reviews, it would be much appreciated. No, I did not say give me 5-star reviews because myself. I would love 5-star reviews. I would appreciate 5-star reviews. However, getting a review is far more important. So please, 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 I beg of thee, go through. And you may find books that I've written that you guys don't realize I have. Because my sci-fi books occasionally get neglected because of reasons. It's a very, very large genre. So it's one of those larger pools that I swim in. And it's all about perspective. Yes, it is. Same thing for everyone. Everyone on here who has published a book, and everyone who will, he said, looking at Trey, please give them reviews. Yep. I guess I got 4 such 5-star reviews, but only 2 reviewers. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And morning, here comes the dawn, shooby-dooby. My voice is almost back, and I found my breakfast shake, so next commercial break, I'll be able to slam one of those back. And actually have this stuff called calories that apparently this cage of meat and bone that is containing my immortal soul requires. You know, you'd think after 43 years I would remember that. So far, Indigo knows sit, lay down, stand up, get off, furniture, etc. Stay, getting better, come and give paw shake. Well, that's beautiful. Very clever puppy. Oh, I almost forgot. No, I don't want to delete that comment. Will you stop? There we go. Dawn is, of course, the force behind her babies, Buddy and Georgette. And if I don't flash this image, people get sad because everyone needs her supersonic squee out of you. Dawn, you're having a good time. You're having a ball. Now, Dawn, hi, Dawn. Chomping on his little Debbie cookie for breakfast. At least it's no mulligan stew. Point. But aside from mulligan stew, man, I could go for. I'm such a hobbit. The thought of cold stew for breakfast, you know, when you've made like a dumpling infused stew, and you pull the ladle, the plastic ladles in the fridge, and it comes up a perfect dome. So you go plop. You know, you almost scoop it like ice cream. Oh my gosh. I may make stew for lunch. I don't know. But I also have a 3-hour round trip to get those blasters, but that's okay. Hey, Dawn. He's a smart pup. Yes, he is. I have more involved things to try to teach him. Just working out how I want to go about it. And cats might know those commands, but they won't obey them. I think cats have the intellect of about a 42-year-old. They fully are aware of what's going on. They know what needs to be done. They know what has to be done, what they want and what they don't want. They're pretty well established personality-wise, and they give 0.001 Fs because they will occasionally give an F, especially if all their food dispensers aren't completely full. Then I must not love them anymore. So cat fit to face. Hey, Dawn. Because his impulse control is still a little iffy. So say I don't want him to open the fridge just because he wants to. Oh, you don't want the chaotic goodest boy? I've really considered, like, if I were getting a dog on the list of dogs I would actually get, it would be one of the ones that didn't quite graduate through the trainings. But, they can open doors and turn on lights and stuff. The problem is that occasionally they'll do it themselves because they want to. So they're not eligible for actual use, I'm patient. I could have a chaotic goodest boy. Of course, given some of my limitations and proclivities, uh, I might actually want no. I want no animals bigger than my cats as a rule, because both Manda and Xander have had altercations with dogs. So there is a deep love of dogs in everyone in the house, but there's also a hesitance. So it would have to be small enough that it's sort of like we lived in a trailer when the really good miniseries Rose Red came out, Stephen King's Rose Red, and we in the trailer? Yeah, I think we're still in. Yeah, we were in the trailer because it started to it was good enough to induce nightmares. It's a very good miniseries, but it even actually had something of an ending, which is shocking for something involving Stephen King. He must have hired like a co-writer for the last chapter. Which, by the way, Stephen King, if I know you're watching, because I occasionally have to bash on Patterson, who I also know watches my show because I have 12 viewers and it's my 10 regulars, and then Stephen King and James Patterson. Or he's got a ghost viewer watching for him because, Patterson can't do anything by himself. I know I bash on Patterson. I'm joking. Great work. But, Stephen, you are a true master of the macabre. You are one of the great writers of terror in our time, and I truly appreciate it. I thank you for all your scares. I'll have two things to say to you that I could call critique. One, perhaps review your endings. Like, talk to Dean Koontz. Just amazing books. And last, two, I will never in my black little heart, there are certain people I fail as a Christian to forgive. And because of a book that Stephen King wrote, I cannot forgive him. It's called Cell. Cell. And I actually do recommend it. I recommend it if you know going in. It is probably the best zombie book I've read for being a different take on your zombie apocalypse things. And much like the end of The Mist, which Cell is the only book I have ever thrown. I hit the end and I yeeted a hardcover book. I yeeted a library book, much to my mea culpa. Fortunately, onto the bed, but because the end is such an utter, you have to be bleeping, kidding me. While I try not to swear on my programs, please never doubt I do have the capacity. So read Cell sometime. It's a good book, but understand you will hit the last line, the last word of that, and you will crumple like a Ford Pinto in an actual crash test, because there will just be implosion, explosion, and rage. Okay? So you have been warned. But, Stephen, please, with love, hire somebody to help you with those last chapters. I think it's because he doesn't want to end the nightmare. I think he enjoys the nightmare too much, so he doesn't want to end it. And we have... I think all our stuff for Indie CD is in the van now, except for us and our food and cigars. I have... Guess what didn't start this morning? I mean, yesterday. The big truck did start. I have to jump it, which happens every once in a while because it is a Ford. And I'm going to be jumping that hopefully today or tomorrow so that I can load it all up, or else we'll just have to do it in multiple trips, which I don't want to, but it's also like 15 minutes from site to my place, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I know I could get a hotel, but I can handle the drive. Greetings, greetings. Oh, and hi, Don. Nice. I still need to pack my personal stuff. Oh, yes, you do. Get that personal stuff packed. Anyway, Don, I'm surprised that you aren't already over there sitting outside the building. Which reminds me, I'm going to be in the con area starting tomorrow. If anyone wants to grab dinner with for my birthday, I think I'm going at that Chinese place. I can't remember the name. About 6. Chinese place. Huh. Okay. I'm still making stock. Oh yes, we'll be making stock and things till like the night before. The night before. Of course, I know this. Haha. See, you need some. You need to get some slack, Dawn. Hello, hello, Grantline Curd. Um, and do I need to run your ad, or is that program done? I thought your Kickstarter was done, but I can't remember. Slack. Chill out, relax more, take it easy. Pax Paracord. Wish we could, Don. We'll have some Chinese food in your honor, though. Friday night? Um, oh, Friday, right? And, oh, let's see. Thank you. And I know you would be here at Foxy and Thesis Thursday. Okay. Hey, Grant, I will be relaxing away from the hustle and bustle of life. Yeah, see, I can understand, Don, getting out here and early to take a day and just rest ahead of convention shenanigans. To the people who will be coming out, since just about all of you are here, um, one one of our vendors called off. They got hit with the flu. Actually, we've had a couple drop of people who were first time people. The flu is running amok, so you may want to wear masks. You may not. That's up to you guys. It's mostly the younger crowd that's getting hit right now because the joy of schooling. Okay, Thursday we'll arrange some Chinese food. God, now I want Chinese food. Joey, I know you're listening because you're on the job site and you're not watching. But that whole crab rangoon thing you did, I've not forgotten. No, sir, I've not forgotten. Okay, Don. Hello, and exhale. Carl Trey, Don, Blade, Don, Foxy, Don, others. Anyway, Bread tackles the like button, full wrecking ball. Don't forget to like and share, folks. That poor like. Had an early birthday cake with Emmy and Regina. Cool. Gently steals like from Sleeping Puppy. Hey, Nick. Hey, Donna. Slip sanitized like in the slot. Hey, Nick. He's back. Nick is back. He's back again. Because you'd feel so empty without me. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Good morning, Nick. Nick, geez, my nails are getting too long to type well. Yeah, but they're pretty. Now that is interesting. Yeah. I still have the sweet, sweet lines from my breathing machine shaping my hair. And no cat pile this morning? No. The cats ate very well and are all sleeping by the window because we have had a visitor cat, a large black visitor cat, come cat foot around the house, so they are now watching the window with their tails going tick, 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 as each one of them fears that I will go, oh, poor kitty, and bring another one in. like it's some kind of deranged harem anime. Well, technically it'd be a reverse harem anime in my case because most of them are male, but whatever. I'm not one to judge. At the moment, mine's longer, but not for much longer. Oh, yes. Now it feels like Nick is on the mend. Why? Because I came skidding in, crashing, creating chaos, and yeah, at least I'm consistent. Question: I'm talking, taking some kids tonight, talking to some kids tonight about becoming comic book creators. Do you think I'll get pushback for advising them not to go to college? Okay. College is a very, very interesting subject because I do believe we need to start treating trade school as a as equal in value um, for both financial and adult growth. Um, I don't remember. Did you go to college slash do you have a degree grant? Um, because I think for the academically minded and the people who want to develop themselves along that line, college is a necessary route. I personally believe we have far too much focus on the 4 year bachelor and up degree programs, and we do not have enough focus on localized uh, associate and certificate programs on the subject of college. Now, if you're saying don't go to art school and you've been, I could understand that. There, I hear some spicy things one way or the other. But depending on how you present it, we are living in a time where the lack of proper education in things like civics, laws, and rights is being weaponized against the public. And I am passionate on the subject of education. So I need to know more your framework on why. Now, if it is financial, I will be the first to say the financial system involving college right now is abhorrent. If it's something else, I really want to hear your opinion because that's fascinating. And Nick, don't you have to get to artwork? I do, but this is the kind of thing I will discuss gleefully from the perspective of someone who I only have a bachelor's degree. Now, I had enough credits to get several others, but our system being what it is, I only was able to clear a single bachelor degree. But I will tell you it is a very odd bachelor's degree in that it was a Bachelor of Liberal Studies, BLS, with a triple primary focus on English, Business, and History and a double secondary on Psych and Soc. So it's a very, very survey course wide version of a degree. Good morning, folks. Out on the job site today due to a dump truck that decided to take out part of the wiring and lights that we put up in the intersection. Possibility? Oh no, Joe. Yep. Just frame it as in your experience. Yes. There will be an Indie CDs creatives at play tonight. I may be back in time for it. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to participate, but I may be back in time at least to watch and be in the chat because Mandy and I have so much to do. I don't know if we'll be able to do it space-wise in front of the camera. And like I said, I'm going a 3-hour into the evening round trip. Those kids make more money faster with a trade school. Exactly. Now, I think we also need more technical trade schools. And I think there needs to be more computer science-based trade schools. For a while, like ITT Tech, you could get electronics degree in just about any town. And what we need is a proliferation of publicly funded trade and community colleges. This is what we need. We're not going to get it from this administration or the next several, but that's what we need. Nick becomes a billionaire. The Carnegie, the Tockert version of the Carnegie Library being, the Tockert schools for trade and advancement or something, would be proliferated. But and so many scholarships. But because that's what real people with money do instead of using rockets as surrogates for their phallus. Oh, I'm sorry. And yes, I've been told, please stop saying swastikar. Swastikar offends Elon Musk, and it hurts his feelings. And calling it the swastikar really does offend, and it makes them cry. So please stop calling it the swastikar. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm spicy today. Gray area. It would depend on how it's approached. Super tact is needed. When I was in high school, I think an adult telling kids not to go would be viewed as blasphemy. But I think kids, again, it depends on your. Frankly, it depends on your personal education, which I don't know about. Your personal success, and your personal perspective, because it's one of those, you kind of have to know what you're talking about on that subject. And yes, they're realizing that our generation was saddled with student debt and underpaying jobs. A great many were, especially for the people who weren't able to complete college. And college is needed for some fields, but not for all of them, and not for everyone. However, what needs to happen, in my opinion, on that is a complete, we have to put a dramatic cap on the cost of college. I mean, honestly, I believe the government should provide free college like many of the other first world nations, because it's a great way to invest in your people. I believe that a large amount of our current education system is designed to make us just smart enough to push the buttons in a factory, but not smart enough to ask the management, why do we have to work without overtime? Anyway, before I get myself in trouble, good morning, everyone. Happy hump day to all. Happy hump day, and I'm definitely in the spirit of humps. We're going to go with that. Hope you're having a good week. It continues. It will be a good week. IndieCD.com is coming, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it, friends. Hey, Chris. Morning, Chris, Joe, and Chris. Yep, Grant, our generation was told only way to success, the only way. And see, that's the problem. I guess I'm bitter because they told me if I went to graphics design, it would be well-paying, creative, and it was neat there. Now I understand your perspective. One thing you have to understand is you have to do your independent research frankly, as a teenager, which previously was very difficult. With current access to information, if they're educated at all properly in high school, is not as hard to look at numbers. For example, a lot of people for a while were saying, well, look at the librarians. Look at the age of the librarians. They're going to start retiring. And a lot of people were suggested to go into library sciences. So now there is a slight problem in the fact librarians don't retire. They don't retire early. Many of them never retire because it is a special job / calling that as long as you are mostly physically able and you are mentally cognizant, you can do and you can actually enjoy. There are some people who, and this may shock you, if you find a job that you truly enjoy, you don't have to retire. It is possible to find employment that is something that resonates with you, and then you can just do it because you enjoy getting up in the morning and doing it. Hey, Chris and Joe. But so right now there are a lot of librarians out there who don't have job openings. Uh, Covers here in case of Squee. Hey, Chris. And see, trade schools should not be frowned upon. But I will tell you this, and this is Nick's secret super hack for the young and intelligent. What you do is you go to trade school if you have interests, if you're mechanically inclined. And by mechanically inclined, I mean construction, I mean welding, HVAC, any of that. Because I wanted to take courses both in college, in high school as electives, and in college as electives along that line, construction management, things like that, because I wanted the skill set in my back pocket. And in both places, I was denied access. They literally would not let me take classes in high school beyond the basic, and thank God they had it, CAD and shop. We had shop back in the day, and I loved shop. And a few other things, because, Nick, you're obviously going to college. You don't need those courses. Like, I have nothing, there is nothing I can take right now. You're forcing me into a study hall. Let me take Construction 1. I'm not looking to master the subject. I just want to expand my knowledge. Oh, no, that's for the kids who didn't make it. You're going to college. And they forced me into a study hall. Now, I'm kind of glad I went to study hall. I made a vast sum of money, but that's neither here nor there. Well, at the time, scaled for inflation, it was like multiple packs of eggs. But I do support trade schools. Squee, morning. Hi, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. And Dark Mistress of the Church of the Rising Tide. I kind of tested out my squeer yesterday. Oh my, did you? Did you? And I would encourage them to learn a trade. Costs aren't as high for school, and they make money to start with. Now, here's the trick. Having stable income while pursuing creative endeavors is crucial. That's the trick. Because the problem with trades can be very physically intensive. And the longer you're in a trade, the more likely you are to do damage to your body. So with welding and metalwork, you can get metal in places you don't necessarily want it. Fumes are always a danger. Especially for welding, the possibility of eye damage from people who want to start their sparker up but not yell eyes. Sorry. Construction, obviously, back damage, knee damage, etc. So what you want to do is, in my opinion, if I could chart it out myself, rechart a lot of things over, I would really consider going to a trade school, straight out of college, and plot that by 30, I want to have this much money. And at 30, I think, somewhere between 25 and 30, you start, because by then you know who you are much better. You want, people send teens to college with no idea really who they are yet. Now, in my case, I went through with the plan of testing into being a teacher. And I took the 8-year plan because I was trying to have as broad a degree as possible to teach in, to test in. And 6 months before I graduated, the laws were changed where they did not want you to be able to test in knowledge base on the subject. They want you to have a degree in secondary ed for what I was doing, which meant for my efforts, 8 years of hard work were right down the toilet. Well, not right down the toilet, but that whole venue was split off to me, which has given me a bizarre and dynamic employment background. Now, I was a long-time substitute. I was an art instructor. I was a teacher's aide. But did a few other things, almost all of it involving special needs. But my world would have been much more stable had I, had they not changed the law out from under me, or had I been permitted to go towards the education I wanted, not the one I received. But that being said, I regret nothing. I really, well, okay, I regret that I wasn't diagnosed with dyslexia till I had dyscalculia, that is, till I had failed algebra 5 times. It took the 6th time of failing algebra and the prof asking me, how long have you been dyslexic? When I started my 6th and getting tested, formally on campus, and them going, oh shoot. So I'd been doing, you're dyscalculic and dyslexic and a few other things. Like, but you've been, yeah, they did assorted tests because they had to. And then the government tried to hire me for some things. But I think the best, and I met my wife. I think the best thing people can do is give themselves time to figure out who they are and what they want to do, because by the time you're 25 to 30, your prefrontal cortex is fully formed, and you can look at cause and effect better. So then you start your degree in either bare minimum OLS. I believe we should be handing out organizational leadership sciences, I think is what it is. Organizational leadership and supervision should be something that basically should be taught everywhere. I was one class away from having an OLS degree on top of my BLS, so that people understand how to manage other people. Because you may do a job long enough to be eligible for management, but the management skill set is dramatically different than the skill set needed to create the product or service that is being managed. It's sort of, good management has to have both. And yes, good management can exist. But too often you either have people who have an OLS degree and no idea we need to cut down our numbers. Do you have any idea how this product runs? We need it to run faster. You mechanically can't. It needs time to cool. If it doesn't cool, it will crumble down the line. So I think the system is set up to keep people from being able to cross the streams, and we need to. So I think college later in life should be considered normal. If I were on a more standard arc at 45, I'm 43. I would be right now considering getting some type of re-education, upgraded education in numerous fields, assuming they don't have, I lost the word, but essentially continuing education credits that your job provides to keep you in line. Teachers have to take constant continuing education courses. Librarians have to take constant continuing education courses. Legal lawyers, doctors, we all have to keep up. Hi, bud. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, good thing that I'm making my nuggets and fries.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. You can start your nuggets of fries.
I've always started them.
Good man. And everybody says hi.
Hi.
If you need anything, you just ask. You're not in trouble. I'm really running late on my monologue because Grant hit something I'm passionate about. And toasty. And yes, you should keep time for your creative endeavors. I will say you should live. You should work to live, not live to work. And in that, I mean work enough hours to cover your bills and live moderately to do what you want to do if you aren't currently doing a job you love. I'm going to tell them that they're going to need a day job if they want. Well, yes, absolutely. And I think you should also warn them about the fact that the crowdfunding bubble has basically popped and will pop again because a lot of people got the idea that if they make any kind of comic, throw it up on Kickstarter, they're going to make $100,000, or and become the next Eric July. Which I'm not addressing politics or his personal beliefs in any way, shape, or form. Whatever you think, either way, I am simply referring to some people think that he did it, and he did that after he had a massive online following and a very successful podcast and a bunch of other things. Please inform them to, as soon as possible, do something that builds a starter audience. It was 8 sneezes, a good warm-up for the day. Wow. That's absolutely necessary. Oh my gosh, the timing of me getting cold chills when you blessed Trey was on point. I'm sorry, I'm apparently rather effective when I get onto that. And we are way behind. So I got knocked through some of these. Danke goes in tight, what Carl said. Missed the D in that word, one-handed typing. I have that effect on people. Callie's back working on German Trey. Where is your BKM bug? My BKM bug. I don't know. I did take German in middle school. It's like it would be handy someday. Strange how those things happen in life, right? That darn app is going to start creeping outside my window, though. I know it. I saw that come up in one of the comment dumps, and I missed the word app. So I thought there was a literal owl creeping outside your window. And I was going to ask, well, you do technically have rats. And you do have cats. And owls are... Oh, and background. See. So it's like, you might have a message coming in. Does that owl have a paperwork tray? Are you trying? Yeah.
You didn't have BKM up in the corner. I snuck him back in.
Oh, thank you. I forgot that got taken down to show the ad. Thank you. Only 73. We're slacking. No, I'm way behind. I'm an hour into it. He does have an art stream, and it's con week, so I guess we can be gentle. No tea house this weekend because most of my audience will be in Fowler. I considered doing a gameplay of Stream of 9 Dragons, but only one monitor. I wouldn't be able to keep an eye on the chat. Oh. I'll have to wrest Nick's Tockert books away from Donna to do that. We shall try. Smart choice. Just will be appreciated. Donna's babies. Morning Lulu promo. On Amazon, they won't let you review a book unless you bought it or spend $50 there. Lulu will let anyone write a review. So, and Lulu does tempt me because I do get a lot of why aren't you on Lulu? However, so many of my sales proportionately are international through Amazon's audiences that I really don't dare leave Amazon. And a lot of my sales come from the Kindle Unlimited tickovers because a lot of my people will read my books and on at page rate versus purchase. And a lot of times I get the read a page rate, buy it on Kindle, and then a little later get it on paperback, which is really a good thing to be. I might take the time. I usually stream video I've discussed to do a topic we discussed on HFG about a month ago. We'll have to see. I missed a minute. Stupid responsible moment. It happens. Okay, Don, tried to help. Thank you. You're welcome. Chaotic Goodest Boy by Chihuahua. Oh, Chaotic Goodest Boy Chihuahua. Not a Chihuahua. It would not be a Chihuahua. It would probably be a Yorkie if I were going, any breed, a little Yorkie. Or, okay, what happened was I almost bought a dog, but I didn't have the money for it. I was taking Mandy for a therapeutic puppy visit, wherein you go to one of the pet stores and they let you play with puppies. And just letting her play with puppies. And somebody else was playing with this little dog that looked like an Ewok centaur. It was a little mixed breed. And the dog ran away from them, got out, ran over to me, and sat on my foot and looked up at me and didn't want to leave. And I'm like, I want to put you in my pocket and leave. And I asked how much it was for the dog, and they informed me that, well, the financing for it, we can help you finance it, would be this much. And I love dogs, but there is no way I could pay high 3-digit, 4-digit for a dog. I just can't do it. And it broke my heart that day, much like the parrot that fell in love with Mandy, hid in her hair and refused to leave. His name was Rowdy. I can't remember anybody's name. I'm terrible with names. I remember that parrot. He was a green macaw. Probably still is a green macaw given their longevity. But I have history with parrots too, so that's another story for another time. See, it only has a couple more days on Kickstarter. That's what you should have led with, Grant. Because if you had led with it, I could have gone and done this.
Finally, it's time for the follow-up to the hit modern fantasy comic book, Beowulf. Victor, the reincarnation of the legendary warrior Beowulf, is plagued by visions of his ancestor facing off against his most infamous rivals, Grendel and Grendel's mother. Victor, with his lovable sidekick and spirit guide Moony the cat with magic powers, must reevaluate everything they've come to believe in this epic adventure. Were Grendel and Grendel's mother actually the monsters they were portrayed as in storybooks? Could somebody be using dark magic in an attempt to resurrect Grendel and his mother in a petty act of revenge? For the answers to these mysteries, plus plenty of action, humour and magic, check out Beowulf, Grendel's Curse. This is a 3-issue miniseries, with each issue being over 30 pages. Get it now for a limited time on Kickstarter.
Hi. Hi. You know I have to do the art portion of my program, right? Sir. Yes, sir. I love you. I know my programs usually only go an hour. Okay, let's not choke me out. Sir. Hi.
Hi. They know when you're busy. That's what they do.
Okay. I have the art program now, Kat. Yes, I love you.
Oh, the cuteness overload.
I love you. My good cat. You can smell the milkshake on my breath. Okay, you gotta go down. I have to do art. You can't. Okay, you can stay down there. Look. Go cuddle on my yarn.
Oh, there we go.
It would really be disruptive if you messed with my yarn right now.
Oh no!
Please don't do that.
Yarn.
Okay, so are you setting up to help with the chat, or?
I was gonna say I can do comments while you art.
Oh, that would
That
be.
way we can get you caught up, and you can actually art.
Oh, that would be nice. We can set that up. And look, wait, I got one of these so that people can see. I made a custom rigamajig. There we go.
Ooh! Oh, look at you!
See, I can do things.
Look how
So I will let you handle the comments, as many of them flood at some point to say, no, I need that. That's the right size. So that I can say,
Don't
Nick,
forget your
time
time
lapse.
lapse,
Okay.
because I'm sure the time lapse things are rolling in.
And since Trey's talking, I'll hold off on the music because, having people to talk to while I art is always better. Do
Did you hit
you
your
know
time
where to
lapse?
start off here?
Time lapse. Time lapse. Time lapse.
Hmm?
Time lapse.
Oh, I did that.
Okay, I didn't see you hit it, so. Oh, now you come in. Okay.
I hit it and quit it. Sorry.
Gotcha. All right. So we've got. If there's anybody who hasn't heard about Beowulf yet, please check it out. There's the link to Grendel's Curse.
Mm.
And this book made me so mad, sad, traumatized me. You should read it.
Yes. Oh, my friend Sarah Pagan.
Yeah. All of every reader ever. It's like the smell's terrible. Smell it. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I not at all. Not at all.
I'm just like, yep, right.
Okay.
I felt that way about Crichton's Spear.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's a normal human interaction, I swear. Something unpleasant happens to you, you need to share it. Bad smells, horrible taste, bad books or movies. Yeah. You need to share the trauma.
Trauma bonding.
And then, Ford. And so true thesis. And yeah, we'll be making stock at the con as we talk. I know us.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I know Amanda and I are going to be sitting there talking as we're crafting because we always do.
I make stock at every con.
I know. We can't help ourselves. And it's a good conversation starter.
Mm-hmm.
This is horrible. Here, try some. Yeah. It's almost like we have to check and make sure that it's not just us that think it's horrible.
Well, I mean, we also live post that disease I'm not allowed to name that sometimes affects your taste.
Oh yeah, it affected my smell. So I was constantly like, "Here, smell this. Is the milk bad? Smell it." And the solenoids in Ford trucks suck. Tied into the starters, and I loathe those parts' existence. And I love Ford trucks. Yeah.
I'm not even going to argue with that one.
Yeah. The state used the old Ford Rangers for the state trucks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And every time. And I shared that Christine Feehan book with you after I read it. That was awful.
Okay, I can see you not liking Christine Feehan stuff.
I have not read it.
They actually did comic book versions of a couple of her books.
Okay. And Dawn, what kind of birthday cake do you want Saturday? And China Dragon in Lafayette is the name of the restaurant you're talking about.
If they're still doing it, they had Bao, which are these you're northern. They're like a Chinese pasty. They're a big dumpling full of delicious meat. Oh. They're like 4 for $10.
Oh.
Buy them. Just buy them. Even if you're full and on your way out, buy them.
Oh, I bet those are good cold too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I would be a much fatter man if I were closer to that.
Dawn, I know you like aquamarine. What's your other favorite color? I can't remember it. But she wants cake flavored cake, and probably whipped icing, Donna. And she does like whipped icing. Chocolate fudge. And I managed not to laugh until after I typed that, said Chris. No answer. I can get what I want. Well, you are the empress of everything.
This is true.
And Carl said, the cats are saying, the bowls are empty enough. We don't want more cats.
Mm-hmm.
And so true, Carl, in their eyes at least. Yes, absolutely. Dawn said, there are so many good cakes out there. Surprise me. Just not lemon or orange. Obviously. No, we don't want you to enjoy your own cake. That's just mean.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna knows that, silly. We'll have to see what's available.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl said she's not baking it, Dawn. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, Foxy. Call bakeries the day before and ask if they've had any canceled orders that someone didn't pay or pick up. Absolutely. Donna says, baking? My maiden name might be Baker, but I'm no baker. Well, you have people for that. You delegate. And Grant says, I hear what you're saying about how people need more education in the field of civics, Nick, but colleges don't really teach that anymore.
Pardon?
Right? That seems not good.
That depends on what degree you take. Because if you're taking the right set of degrees to study it, they absolutely do teach civics.
They might call it something else now.
Yes. Yeah, I believe they call it constitutional law. But I think that should be mandatory for every diploma, not even degree.
Yeah. Colleges don't teach philosophy or civics anymore because you can't make money at that.
Sir, with all due respect, you are blatantly and completely in error. You are wrong on that subject because I nearly had another minor in philosophy. It's usually labeled as great issues to start. So you have great issues 1, 2, sometimes 3, depending on where you're talking to. And they absolutely have philosophy on campus if you're going to an actual college. Now, if you were attending a tech school or a smaller, again, I believe there are a lot of what I consider electronic trade schools, electronic trade school scams, where you have to check if it's accredited and a bunch of other things. But at a proper learning institute, they very much teach philosophy and civics.
They might be able to get away with that at a private school.
Yeah,
like a private college.
That's true. Well, usually if it's a private school, they are teaching. They're usually religious at the collegiate level, and they teach some of it, but they teach some of it from a
religious standpoint.
A theology. There's the word. Yes.
Yes. So again, they might call it something different.
Right, but they absolutely cover that.
And Don knew that Donna would not be baking. I'll see how I feel whether I want to make something or not, says Foxy. Carl knows our Donna, but we love her.
There's nothing wrong with, if you can't make your own hellfire, buying a store-bought is fine,
Store-bought is fine. And Dawn's got a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour.
Definitely a 3-hour tour.
If we were closer, Foxy could make a cake. She loves baking. Nice. Roll up, and Foxy's agreeing.
Yeah.
I would love a Foxy cake sometime. Need to find a better recipe for frosting, though. I don't like most store frostings. And I told her that I thought we had some vintage recipes for frosting that I could look around and send.
Ooh.
And she is saying, yes, please. She loves trying new old things. And the frostings today are just too sweet and the texture isn't great. And we do have some vintage recipe books and the Dylan Hollis book. So,
Yeah.
that's it. He actually has it separated by the years. So, the Depression era stuff is actually good. And then, the 60s and 70s were a lawless time. And then he actually has the section of, Dear God, this is awful, which is absolutely hilarious to me.
Well, there are some people who will who watch his shorts and go, I got to try this.
Oh, yeah. It's going back to the book thing of, oh, God, this was awful. Here, you try it.
Good point.
Is it really that bad? I have to find out. And Foxy is rubbing her hands gleefully.
Ooh.
Bladed got her a shirt for Christmas that has a fox with baking utensils on it, and it says, "Baking is my meditation." Oh, yeah. She has a collection of cookbooks. Nice. Ooh, Sarah's got accountability.
Ooh.
Prep for lab work and physical therapy eval going on tomorrow. The orthopedist a week from today and not lose the directions again. She cleaned, lost them, no food overnight for lab work. You've been busy. What are you yelling at? and Foxy's saying, that's never fun because you always get the munchies. Yeah. I can go all day not even thinking about food. And then as soon as you tell me lab work, don't eat for like overnight, I wake up and I'm like, I'm hungry. Every time. Oh, Grant also went to a for-profit college.
That explains it. Yeah, you got scammed, Grant. I'm sorry.
Grant, no. Which is why I think is way less of a thing. The Obama administration cracked down on that. Dude, that explains it.
That explains it. I went to Purdue. So
I was going to say, we had vastly different college experiences then. And I'm telling Sarah, she's got this. She's saying, thanks, hump day snuck up on her. Eeks tomorrow's going back to Tuscaloosa, Illinois already.
Well, given that it's a Midwest town, it could be pronounced Tuscaloosa. I mean,
there's letters that aren't there. I threw in some letters. I did what people do with my name and just threw in random letters. People are cheering on Sarah. Oof. And Grant saying, yeah, the last time I had to fix our furnace, the HVAC guy charged us $50 an hour.
That's actually not that expensive for HVAC.
No, it's not.
The tragedy is the guy doesn't get that money unless he's a small businessman.
Yeah. And Foxy took shop class. It was fun.
I love shop class.
That was fun. Carl got the bachelor's in 81, then went back for the master's in the 90s after I worked for a while. That's how you get some experience. No way I was making that kind of money as a college graduate. Yeah. Hugs for Sarah. Illinois has certification coverage with Medicaid. I don't think Indiana does.
No.
Much more is covered here, hence the higher taxes, I'm sure, but worth it when used to grow and heal in various ways. Yeah. My cat is on crack. Ted was Navy, then in his 40s found out a program that paid vets for trade school, so now he has his HVAC certs. Nice. Foxy did pretty well at welding when it was her turn, but didn't have as steady a hand anymore. Yeah. I never got to learn how to weld in school. I was a little mad about that because I was college bound.
Yeah, see? That was the kind of thing they wouldn't let me do either. I'm like, wait, but I want to learn this. Well, you're going to college. Why would you need I might want to weld something.
Right. Well, our trade school, trade school classes were in the morning, which were when college-bound English, math, and all that were. So you couldn't do both.
Okay, I can see how that works.
Yeah, the timing didn't work out. It wasn't so much of, oh, you don't need that, as you physically can't be in two places at once, because you had to go to Michigan City to go to the trade school.
The AK Smith Center.
Oh yeah, that's what we used.
Um, you know my story involving a 2.5 story window.
Yes, I did. It was there.
It was there, right over Pine Street.
All right. Oh God, that probably happened when my brother was there then.
Quite possible.
Snap. But Sarah loves when employers cover education to further their careers for the company and can use that on a resume later if need be. My company does that. They're pretty awesome about that, actually. Grant uses some of the stuff I went to college for when making comic books, but I could have borrowed a book about Photoshop from the library and saved like 80 grand.
Yep.
Libraries are very valuable resources. Although most of my student loans are forgiven now because the college I went to was a scam. Thank goodness they were forgiven. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
That explains a lot, and I would, before you start making suggestions for people not to go to college, I would really consider reevaluating that from the perspective that don't go for a non-accredited college.
yeah, definitely do some background checks on the colleges. Well, when did you go to school, Grant? Because back then, depending on how far back you went, the college scams were probably a newer thing, and it was harder to pick apart. Carl's saying that's a sad tale, Grant. I hope you use it in a story someday. Yeah. One of the best things about college is finding out that you're not quite as smart as you think you are. Oh, it hits you like a freight train. Yeah. You can be top of your class in a class of 23, and then it hits you like a freight train that means nothing.
There's
yeah,
always bigger fish.
Yeah, that way you might gain something back out of it if you use it in a story. Thank you guys. Curious to what they find out for some answers. Yeah, definitely, Sarah. And Grant doesn't know what to tell my stepdaughter when she asks me why she needs to learn algebra. What a waste of time. Okay, so story time from me on this one. So in school, when I was taking math classes, we had college-bound math, and I'm putting that in quotes because every day we would have our math lesson, and Mr. Roslansky, I know you're watching this, along with Stephen King and all the rest of them. So I am sorry for this. Every day he would do our math lesson, and at the end of it, he'd be like, any questions? And we'd all raise our hands. And he's like, this is where you're going to use this in real life. And we'd put our hands down because that was the question every day he had to answer from our smart aleck class. And he would, tell us how we would use it every day. And I'm like, I'm going to be an English major. I'm never going to need to use this. And then I went into construction inspection and I use it every day. Every day I work. So sometimes life takes a turn that you don't think it's going to do, and you end up using it. And I actually have to rise and chord to find out the area of a section of a circle. So life changes sometimes, and you end up using things you never thought you'd use. I was going to go, and I was going to be a book editor. And now I know how to find the yield of concrete. there is math I never thought I would use. So yeah, yeah. Sometimes life takes a turn, and you end up using math that you never thought you would ever need. Also, it did come in handy when I was putting up my my raised garden.
I
So
bet.
yeah, it does come in handy. It does come in handy. For the record, Grant is not anti-education. I just have some problems with how the U.S. goes about doing the education. Fair enough. Fair enough. Especially now, it has changed a lot since how we were taught.
Very possible.
And Sarah was great in algebra and sucked in geometry. It seemed like whoever was good in one struggled in the other. I also had that experience.
All right. Can we? I'm going to run an ad for a minute.
Yep.
So let me just. Where are we? Here we go. I need. All right, ran Grant's ad. So I'm going to run. City. So you know what? I think I will run Cindy Koepp's ad. No. We don't know what the ads are for at all.
Right? We don't know what's going on.
Oh, let me do a quick check.
Yep.
The 10th, March 10th. Well, save as. Warm up. We'll get this all exported and such.
Excellent.
And are we caught up with the comments?
No, not yet.
Okay, cool.
I was going to say, we got plenty of comments.
Oh, good.
And Dawn saying, algebra is actually used more than we think. Basic algebra, anyways. And is agreeing with Sarah on the great in algebra and sucked in geometry. And Chris is saying, ideally, learning and experience combined to make better and effective leadership and management. Ideally.
Now we do have to talk about our experiences, like you said. I went to college, as Trey dang well knows.
Mm-hmm.
At the time it was PNC, now it's PNW in Northwest Indiana, which was a satellite school for Purdue.
Yep.
The degree, at least my degree, still said Purdue. Thank you very much. But I also went to the branch in Valpo for a little bit. We went with a lot of quote unquote non-traditional students.
Yep.
So the attitude there was a lot of, we're here to get our degree.
Mm-hmm.
And then get out.
Yeah.
And campus kept trying to force, well, don't you want college life? Yada, yada. No, I want my degree. Go away.
Right.
We still ended up in a lovely club, but.
Hey, what's the difference between a trebuchet and a catapult?
Oh, God.
And that's how we became friends, y'all.
I couldn't help it. I was walking by and I full stride, just, that's a history question I can answer.
At the corner coffee shop in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And that's how a friendship was born.
You were actually in the cafeteria. You weren't in the corner coffee shop.
We were at the coffee shop because you were turning the corner to the left to go out.
Was I? I thought I was going out
by the restrooms.
Oh, that's right.
Because we were talking. It was Jess was on shift at the coffee shop, and we were talking
That's
about
right.
launching people over a mountain range, and we were trying to figure out if a catapult or a trebuchet would be better for it. And I uttered the phrase, "What's the difference between a catapult and a trebuchet?" And as you were turning the corner, you stopped mid stride, turned around, and did your actually. And that's how we became friends.
Yeah, basically, I regret nothing, but it was one of those where I did not want to be, quote unquote, that guy.
No, that's how our friendship was born.
It's true, though. It really is. And time lapsed. Okay. Any thoughts, requests, anything from anybody?
Something springy.
Something
springy.
Something springy. Okay. Something springy. Springy.
And like most things in the U.S., we try to monetize things that shouldn't be monetized. Prisons, education, and healthcare.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, picture. Wow.
Wait, it was the reverse. Did okay in algebra, but shined in geometry. That doesn't surprise me.
I like geometry because geometry overlapped with my mechanical drafting.
Okay.
So it became something I could.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. No, I loved algebra because I didn't have to prove that an angle was an angle.
Oh, no, I understand that.
That was absolute BS. How dare you?
What?
I got a request.
Yeah?
A pickle and a taco having a conversation.
A pickle and a taco having a conversation. Okay.
And we
that's red. We don't want red.
And a morning Xander. And Nick would ace the theological degree, I would think.
I did very well in comparative religion.
Okay.
Studies. I don't know if I would ace it. A lot of it would depend on how cool and how much opinion was allowed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you would keep the conversations interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
And Grant said, "I'm on a tear this morning. I apologize."
Oh, no, you're fine. You are fine.
We're having a conversation.
Do not let modern shenaniganry and politics confuse people from the ability to have a simple civil conversation. I'm all for things, especially if there is a difference between being wrong and being in error. You know, we've over moralized the idea of making a mistake. We treat making a mistake like it's a blood serious sin, and it really, people make mistakes. That's how you learn. Sorry, go on.
We also have different experiences,
Yeah.
and and no one experience is correct, I feel. So just because you had a different experience, like Nick and I we grew up in the same county and went to the same college. So our experiences with college and, are going to be different than yours. We had the same same professors, same general experiences with things.
Same dang walrus. Anyway.
Werewolves. But
But
anyway,
no, it's interesting that we got there because we grew up in the same county,
yeah.
went to the same college.
But we still had very different elementary and high school experiences.
Oh yeah, because you
vastly different.
You grew up in a little tiny town. No offense.
Oh no, I mean, my high school class was 23,
and I think there might have been 1,200 kids at my school.
There were less than 100 in my high school. So yeah, like vastly different experiences when it came to high school. Talking to my one of my friends went to Portage, interviewed for a position at my old high school, and the principal went to the same school she had, and she asked him, she's like, "Okay, what kind of culture shock am I looking at?" And he's like, "Everybody has a knife here." And she's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "It's not a weapon. Every kid has a pocket knife here. It is a tool for them. So, it just happens." And she asked me, she's like, what's the death rate I'm looking at a year? And I was like, 0. Oh my God. And she's like, what? And I was like, 0. A death there is very rare. What were you looking at? And she's like, we had this many a year. And I was like, are you okay? So yeah, like the even though we were from physically close areas, our experiences were vastly different.
You said death rate, and I had to start calculating.
Yeah, and I was like, there was like 2 accidental deaths in my entire school career due to, I think one was a train accident and one was actually by my house. They went off the bridge into the river. So yeah, yeah. And that was in my entire school career.
I am so sorry. I'm not trying to say, laugh at anything very serious, but my brain just screamed, was that Billy Joe McAllister?
Oh my gosh, right?
I'm sorry. If I didn't get that comment out, my brain would have exploded.
Nope, understood. But yeah, and those were people that were in completely different grades, so I didn't know them. Like, they were in high school when I was in elementary. But yeah. But yeah, back onto lighter topics. Foxy could never get the hang of algebra. I enjoyed moving numbers around and still having things make sense. I thought that was fun. That part I enjoyed.
Foxy says hi, Xander.
I also say hi, Xander.
Trey says hi, Xander.
And we're skipping that because I told that story already about Mr. Oslansky, and my apologies. And other than helping kids with homework, I haven't used algebra since I left the class.
Now, see, I use algebra actually quite frequently.
Yeah.
I'm a game designer, and I do. But what I like is I had my last algebra professor for the last time I will ever take algebra was a guy named George.
Okay.
And George went into math because he hated math.
Okay.
And he hated the way textbooks were written because he's like, if you're trying to learn how to do something, you don't need everything else to be complicated.
Yeah.
So you don't need these weird gotcha math problems. And his grading thing was, if you did the process right, but you made an arithmetic error, you would get 80% on it.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting, I want to say a B, a high B, almost high B, or actually an A in algebra when I got out of it. I can't honestly remember which it was. Out of a class I failed 5 times beforehand.
Yeah.
Because he tested things logically, and he didn't argue with my answers on word problems.
Okay.
Because they would give me a word problem, like, okay, you need this is the complex shape, and you need to how much it how many it was how many no, it was how much barbed wire do you need to buy?
Yeah.
To make this elaborate shape.
Okay.
So I did the whole math.
Yeah.
And it came up with something like 57.2.
So 60.
Right. Well, but I mean, yeah. So I wrote, you're going to need 2 50-foot rolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the teacher argued with me. Well, you had the answer right here. Why didn't you write it there?
Because they don't sell like that.
Go down to Harbor Freight. I mean, go down to Tractor Supply and try to buy a 7.2-foot roll.
See.
They're like, because I would drive them nuts because I would, even if I didn't do the algebra right, my answer would be very, very close. And they couldn't figure out how I would get an answer that was almost right from broken algebra or making numbers not do. That's not doing what it's supposed to do. So there was this whole epic, like every question, it's like, if you give me a story answer, I'm going to give you
a real life answer.
I love, well, again, okay, you need you're building this. It's this shape. How many boards do you need? And I'm going, you need one more.
Yeah.
And she, well, you're wrong. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's not the wrong answer. Because you're forgetting, you're losing 1/8 of an inch with every cut. You're losing the wastage from the cut. Well, that's the book says. I don't care what the book says. You're at least, what are you cutting this with? Some kind of hyperspace laser? I mean,
it's perfect.
You're going to molecularly, no, you have wastage for the width of the saw blade. And, it may not be terribly noticeable about 1 or 2 cuts, but you start doing 50, 60 cuts, you're going to be losing about this much board.
You give me a real life problem, I'm giving you a real life solution.
But then again, I was notorious for arguing isn't the right term, but debating might be.
Oh, yeah. Defending your answer.
Absolutely. I got dubbed. There was a professor by the name of Howard Jablon.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And I was forced to take my American history courses with Howard Jablon. And Professor Jablon, I believe it's Dr. Jablon, God help us all, made us study. We had to keep track of 3 parallel timelines.
Okay.
Because it was history according to the book. Was it history according to the book, history according to what's culturally believed, and history according to Jablon?
Oh.
And we got going, and we were fine until we hit the Vietnam era.
Oh,
he started telling me things about Vietnam, and I'm going, sir, you're wrong. What? That book is wrong, and so are you. And he stopped, excuse me, because, I've been dubbed the philosopher for debating different things, but I said, that's wrong. That happened October 20th, not the day you're saying. And it was this size force. Well, look, this is this. I said, stop. Whatever source you have is good. My dad was there. I have pulled the shrapnel out of the pustules off of his back from, if you look at that picture right there, that watchtower he was on top of when they came for it. So, sir, you are wrong. Would you like me to bring him in?
Oh, Lord.
I can. He has done it before. Said, no, the last time I had a Vietnam veteran in, he punched me.
I can imagine why.
So, yeah.
Oh, Lord. I had Dr. Kincaid for his first class on his first day teaching at PNC. And the poor man, the smart aleck in me came out. I had American history up to the Civil War with him.
Okay.
The end of the Civil War with him. And he's doing his intro, and he's like, all right, I think we all know how that ended up. And I was like, oh, don't tell me. I haven't gotten there yet. And he looked at me, and the horror on his face, because he couldn't tell if I was joking or not yet. And I was like, I'm kidding.
Well, depending on where you were in the county, you may have been told a different.
He was unsure at that point. Well, I also dressed, flannel chic. So, poor man. Poor guy.
I have no idea where this bizarre. This is not my usual art style.
You know what it reminds me of? The 90s raisins.
Oh my gosh, it does.
Oh. But back into the comments. Grant honestly doesn't know what he would tell kids because you don't know how much of the world is going to change after you graduate from college. Facts. Foxy's agreeing. Like, I wouldn't have gone to school for graphic design if I had known that the print industry was going to tank. Yeah, there's the rest of my story. I would also have focused on making comic books if I had known a lot of technology was going to be invented that would make indie comics more profitable. Chris is saying even Brandon Sanderson built up quite a following before he shocked the world with his Kickstarter campaign that shattered records.
And that's a big part of why it shattered records. You have to develop an audience. You have to develop. Well, I feel like I'm back on that old show I used to be on. You have to get your personal brand in this day and age is just as important, if not more important, than what you are making. And yeah. Oh, and you're thinking Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Joe.
Oh God, yeah. But Joe's asking me, but how often would you have used the math if you had gone into the field I studied in college? Never. Yep.
Oh no, you're fine, Grant.
That's what I'm here for. It's fine.
Literally, I love conversation. I don't mind.
And Foxy's hugging Grant. I know how frustrating it can be. It's good to let it out sometimes. Especially, yeah, absolutely. Thesis tried to read a Brandon Sanderson book. I was not impressed. Fuck. Oh, Foxy says birds don't like her. I'm sorry. And neither do goats? No. Oh, no.
What? Neither do goats. Please give me a reference, because
I just see Foxy walking up and like all the fainting goats falling over. Oh, okay. But at least the goats just want to eat my stuff, not try and murder me like birds. Okay, the goats like you then. It's fine. It's fine. The goats are fine with you then.
Okay.
If the goats are just eating stuff, they're fine.
Yeah.
And greetings to Dusty and his little asterisk. Just looked up on the screen while writing, and there was Dusty asterisk. And yellings of time lapse. Carl was in the potty, so had to run it back for Dusty time. Nah, it's fine. I'm here. And I finished my kitty cat hats that I was doing. Look at them little ears. And now I have cat hats.
Oh,
Yes.
that
And
is adorable.
I finished them in time for the con. So now I have a new product for the convention.
Woo.
It was worth it, I'm sure. And hello, everybody. Yes, hello. Oh, for Sarah, if something is horrible that she tastes, she doesn't want to cringe alone, so the other must do it with her. Sharing is caring. Right?
Well, this is a dumb question. Do you remember the name of the really nice girl from Brazil who was the coffee who ran the coffee thing?
I know who you're talking about. I can picture her.
Oh yeah.
Give me a little bit. Maybe it'll come to me. Did it start with an M?
My brain wants to say something like Micah or Michelle or something like that, but
Mika?
I think
Mika.
it was.
I wonder how she's doing.
I wonder that she had interesting culture shock of being in America,
Oh, Lord, yes.
and like that poor girl was so scared so much of the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, she also worked with Jess, so.
I used to have to walk her out to her car.
Oh, poor thing. Yeah.
Because she was like, I don't want to go out to my car, but I don't trust any other guys to do that because
Yeah. Especially campus got really dark when it was dark, since it was in the middle of nowhere and coyotes and shadows.
yeah.
And if you weren't used to the sounds, even if you were used to the sounds, yeah. But Foxy's thing, bow buns. And I thought it was purple. I was just making sure. And Thesis's problem with Christine Fian was every single character was described the same way. It was infuriating. Just imagine them as Lego people then. Just little Lego people wandering around. Oh, as I smack my mic.
I feel that I understand that, and there's a visual version of that because for the first 15 or 20 books, I was passionately addicted to the Laurel K. Hamilton, Anita Blake Vampire Hunter books. But she kind of got so far into the spice, it overwhelmed the flavor of the book.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I want the mystery. I want the thing. I mean, spice is nice, but can we have, like, one of the books was like 90% spice. And I'm going, can we just, it's like, the Vampire Council is coming to kill you all. I don't know why but.
Stop bonking. They did the Legend of Zelda route and went on a side quest.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Well, the problem with it was, God, this is the most bizarre thing I've drawn in a while. Anyway, the problem. Save as coffee shop. I really want to put a question mark, but okay, file. Let me export this. Oh, PNG. Anyway, that is drunken 3 a.m. style art right there. But the problem was they did a comic book for the first few, and then I assume they had to stop the comic book because there's no way they could have kept up with
Too spicy.
because it wasn't a 18 and up comic. The problem was the artist only knew one way to draw a quote unquote beautiful man.
Oh no!
And the beautiful man looked a lot like the beautiful woman. So I could identify Anita and I could identify Edward. But if you weren't paying attention, all the vampires look so much alike. Like Jean-Claude was slightly prettier and usually in like French proper foppish garb. But the rest, if you took the lettering and just put a frame up, which character is this?
So pretty.
It was like the female version of They Breasted Boobly Up the Stairs. Or down the stairs, I mean.
Oh.
I guess they'd have to bum buttily up the stairs if you're looking, you know what I'm saying?
So just twerking up the stairs?
Wow. I know some people who could pull that off. Anyway.
The bard of throwing it back? Or
yes!
The cleric of throwing it back?
Paladin? Yeah, it was the Paladin
of throwing it
Paladin
back.
Oath of Throwing It Back. That's right.
That's right. I love those.
Now, one-shot questers. Because he had a baby.
Aww. All right.
Okay, you guys got a slackery picture, so I'm going to have to do something a little more detailed.
Dawn's favorite colors are teal and purple, and aquamarine is a beauty and her birthstone. That's right. Carl's referring to the cake. It'll say happy birthday, Charlene, but it'll taste good. We'll just scrape it off. It'll be fine. We'll kind of like use a spoon to move the frosting around.
You get, right before you bring it out, you get the can of Ready Whip, you give it a shake. Go, no one will know.
Just Sarah had to pass civics in high school junior year in order to graduate. But that was in the late 90s, so who knows now. Foxy had social studies. I am with a bunch of creatives. I'm sure someone will come up with a way to alter Charlene. See, there we go. We already started on it. Yeah, we had social studies, but a specific civics course junior year. I pretty much retained the info to spit out the exam at the time. Yeah. We didn't have civics. What did we have junior year? Current events. Government econ. Yeah, we had government and econ.
That physically hurt. The thought of teaching current events right now.
Oh, God. Well, our government econ teacher, we had to do a current event news thing every week. And like do a small oral report on it and talk about it. So those poor kids, if they're still doing that at school. But he also was a former Valparaiso officer. He had a word of the day, a quote of the week. And when it came exam time, if you could remember the quote of the week, and he would give you 2 words of the day that you could define, because you would get the definition every day. And if you could define the two words he gave you, he would give you extra credit, and he would make you do a book report every semester. The man he wanted his students to be literate. and up on current events. So at the time it was annoying, but looking back, it's like, oh, thank God. But Thesis almost got his degree in philosophy at the local college just because of how many philosophy classes he took. Of course, that was over 20 years ago now. You know, bettering yourself. Sometimes you do things just because you enjoy them.
Yeah. Now, in the world, the universe has a sense of humor side of things. Uh, no, I don't want to do a fascinator on her. Anyway, the last two courses I took were taught by Professor Kim Sipes,
Mm-hmm.
and Kim Sipes is a he.
Yep.
And they were economic stratification
Mm-hmm.
and social movements.
Okay. Yeah.
The psychology of social movements. Ponder that for a moment on why my gaze
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. Why things currently hurt a lot.
Well, I mean, it actually, for me, is hurting much less than it used to because I've spent the last 10 to 20 years warning, actually, yeah, that's 25 years warning people about this. And as it's gotten closer, I've been more and more specific to the dear Lord. And now it's just I turn on the news and go, and you're surprised by this? Why?
Yeah.
I done warned you. It is beyond my control. Plant something, stay out of the big cities for a while, pray. If you all have the ability to go talk and do things about things, you might want to while you can. But that's neither here nor there. You know it's bad when that accent.
Store-bought Hellfire is okay, but you need to watch out for those generic demons. They have too many issues. Okay, if you're buying your Hellfire from Wish.com, we are not responsible for the demons that you acquire.
The worst part is they're all like associated with the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh,
Anyway,
the Temu demons.
Timu demons.
Oh, if I haven't mentioned this already, I really hate Site Manager when in the field. Hi, Joe. Yeah. How's that working out for you? How's that going? How's work? And you have commiserations from people, and I guess me too. But I know what you're going through.
We feel your pain.
Dawn supposes she should start packing, but never mind the furthermore.
I do love that this show has the name Nevermind the Furthermore, in part because Brian K. Morris's writing is rooted in his journalism background.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very tight, is a good way of putting it. Very precise. It is not florid or excessive at all. Hence the title, Nevermind the Furthermore. Get with it. The person who runs the show now is the most long-winded, distracted,
It's all the
sideways. So we'll just have to see.
I'm not gonna lie though, if I open up a piece of journalism and there's furthermore, I immediately discredit it in my mind. Like I'm like, there's too much furthermore. Even if they agree with my viewpoints, especially if they agree with my viewpoints, and I'm like, there's too much of you in this, and there's too much fluff. Get to the point. Like you're not being a proper journalist. I just automatically get rid of it
Oh no,
I'm like, you're too biased. Goodbye. I'm like, I want journalism. Goodbye.
yeah, it's like I miss the
Walter
the
Cronkite.
rule. Yeah, Cronkite. News
Jimmy
should be
Cronkite.
it should be boring. I hate to
Yes.
say it that way, but it should be relatively neutral, and you should think about what you're watching.
I'm like, just give it to me straightforward. Don't give me your emotions. Don't give me fluff. Don't give me bias. Give me news.
That's why I like for news, American news, the PBS NewsHour,
Oh yeah.
because right now they're like on the like 100-point scale.
Yeah.
They're like half a point bias theoretically to
Yes. That.
liberal, and that's just because every so often they have to ask for donations. You know what I mean?
Right. See that I can deal with. Also,
Right? Everything is delivered. Joe Friday giving the news. Here are the facts, ma'am.
That's all I want.
Um,
Did you start your time lapse?
the picture's coming out good, so probably not. Hold on, I got this. What am I doing? If I erase it, it won't work. But if I go all the way back, see, I will suffer. I am suffering for my art. Suffer, 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 suffer,
Suffering.
suffer, suffer, Nikolai. Suffer for it. If you want. Okay. Now I come over here. I hit record time lapse, and I go.
Magic. Oh, reverse suffering. The
So,
reverse of suffering.
fun fact, I am having to try to force myself to slow down artistically in my stuff because I got much of my art training from watching the different speed paints on programs on like YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with that is they'd show a picture being drawn, and you watch it, and the picture gets drawn in 15 minutes, a half hour.
Yeah.
But it's a speed paint, so it's a 5-hour picture.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there just beating myself. I am just so darn slow. Why am I so slow?
It's an illusion. An elaborate ruse. Joe says, funny thing is, I was technically college bound due to wanting to do computer programming, but had to take applied because I was at AK Smith in the mornings. Yeah, the programming was at AK Smith. The whole system was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, I remember where those classes were because they wouldn't let me take them either. You have to take sewing. Please get me away from the sewing machine.
You don't want me to take sewing. Can I do it by hand? Let me do it by hand.
Please.
Didn't you put a needle through your thumb?
Okay. What happened was, and I need to hide this for a moment. Let me just see if I can't hide. Okay. Well, that helps. We'll do this because you have to be able to see my hand. We were sewing these baseball bats, these stuffed baseball bats.
Yeah.
They were Easton bats. They were about as long as my arm.
Yeah.
And I am sewing said baseball bat, and I'm getting a final stitch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my classmates called my name to ask me something as they were walking across the room. And said classmate, I won't drop her name because I don't want to embarrass her, was a very lovely young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And She lived like men write about women.
Was she busting boobily across the room?
Yes, quite
Okay.
literally. And she said something, and I looked up. And as I was saying, like, and I answered her question, and the teacher yelled at her to sit down, and I had my hand came up, and she said, the teacher called me, what, Nicholas? We're trying to get this done. I'm like, I need a seam ripper. Or well, I need to go. I probably should go to the nurse, but if not, can I have a seam ripper? Why would you need a seam ripper? Well, if I can't go to the nurse, I need a seam ripper. Why do you need a seam ripper? I hold the other hand up, and the baseball bat was sewed to the side of my index finger. So when I held the whole bat went straight up.
Yeah, that's not good.
And she's like, go to the nurse. What are you doing? Well, it's a big Band-Aid. I'm not going to bleed all over the place yet. If you give me a seam ripper, I'll just pop it out and paper towel will be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still remember my teacher's name. It was Esther Schlegelmilch.
That is a name. That is quite a name.
And however you imagine Esther Schlegelmilch to look, you're probably accurate.
All right. Good to know. Oh,
She was the one who taught typing.
okay.
You know, typing HTML and like home ec.
Yep.
So it was what you see is not what you will get over and over and over again. And hers was the class that she wrote, we are going to whitehouse.gov on the board, but she had written, we're going to the site, and somebody who knew something wiped out the .gov and wrote .com.
No.
And got everything closed down because that at that time was a woefully inappropriate site.
Yep.
And she had to go get the administrator because everything was locked down.
Oh yeah, that firewall probably hit hard.
Oh yeah. Let's see now.
Carl says Calvin is sleeping. The others must be too. No cat crowding yet. Knock on wood. And we have Tashin here. Good morning, guys. What are we doing today?
Oh, hi, Todd.
Arting and chatting. Greetings. And Grant didn't know you went to Purdue. So did you know that Oregon Trail was developed there?
Yes.
So much dysentery. We needed to stop dysentery.
Well, Terry knows what they did.
Terry knows.
Although besides that joke, I don't think I've ever had an issue with anyone named Terry.
Yeah, no.
I have a name theory that states that certain names are more inclined to have certain effects. For example, every Tiffany I've known has been a complete ball of chaos. Incredibly feminine chaos, but chaos.
Okay.
Let's see. I've only known one Josh who wasn't every kind of trouble. And I love our Josh over here, but he's not the one because.
Oh, I hope his knee is doing better.
What?
I hope his knee is doing better.
I do too.
It was looking rough the other day. We are doing greetings. And Foxy did well in college other than math. And greetings. And when Grant was looking at colleges, the idea that a college might try to mislead or deceive its students wasn't a thing. Yeah, I don't think that really became a thing until the online colleges started getting more popular.
I know there were a couple pretty shady
Yeah.
quasi-tech institutes, you know,
Yeah, but
but not.
the idea that a college wouldn't be accredited wasn't really a thing.
I am going to have to sit and do so much art in the next few days to get warmed back up. I'll do the same side.
Dawn says, while academia is very, very important, I have learned in the long run of life, knowledge is needed, but grades and GPA are BS. Yeah.
Yes,
Life
D is,
experience is far more important.
D is for done, and we live in an era where, as long as the internet is up, you should be able to do dang near anything if you could follow instructions.
Yep. It was my understanding, I was told there would be no math. Nice. It wasn't something that teachers, parents, or guidance counselors warned about, right? Yeah. Yeah, that it just wasn't a thing.
I'm sorry. I need to take the screen for just a moment.
Yep, absolutely.
Onto every math instructor, teacher, aide, and even my dad, whom I love.
Oh, is that a calculator?
Is this?
Oh, is that a calculator?
Is this
In
a
your-
calculator?
In your pocket?
In my pocket everywhere I go? Everywhere!
Oh, look, a mini computer that gives you all the answers at all times?
See, look, calculator. Mine is calculate, but doesn't need to do the arithmetic. Ah!
We are the future. You know
Well,
what?
think
I
about-
think I have an app on my watch to do math, to be honest.
My 5th grade teacher, Mr. Steele, if he's still living, he could take that Easter egg off of his desk and sit on it. Sorry.
That wasn't pent up at all.
No.
Oh, greetings. And also, believe it or not, the college I went to was accredited. Okay. Hey, Don, wielder of the taco mic. For greetings and greetings. And I ended up needing math to follow psychological studies to see if their conclusion on therapy was valid. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that does help too.
Everybody's forgetting statistics. I
God,
love
yes.
statistics.
I hated it so much, but I still use it.
Oh no, I came out of algebra and they informed me I had to take one more math class.
Yep.
I'm like, the hell you say? I'm like,
Yep.
no, you have to take statistics.
I hated
But
it.
and I'm like, they said it's statistics for liberal arts majors, and I'm like, okay. And then I broke my stats prof because I could guess the answer to any question he gave me within a 5 percentile chunk because of D20s.
Right.
It's like, have you considered playing poker? No, I don't have the working memory for that. I am not playing blackjack and counting cards. Sorry.
Right. That gets your name on lists. Sarah's saying that there's that geometry. I literally got an F in that class and an A in algebra. Life takes huge turns in very unexpected ways. Was planning on retiring from working at the U of I. Yeah. Plot twist. Yeah. I promise not to derail your stream from the start tonight, Tosh.
Lies.
Independent creative directory. It's Indie Joe behind this name. Yep. So, yeah, it's Indie Joe, not Joe, Joe in 3D. He's got quite a few names floating around there. I usually just call him Indie for simplicity's sake, since there's like 4 Joes in your stream. Another plot twist that is going to be happening, which will be a good one though. Illinois and Indiana both have their pros and cons of coverage, and Nichols has a good idea of writing my story during historic times. Good idea. It will take a while, but it's going to be cathartic for sure.
Yes.
Excellent.
I want to put that out there for everybody watching now and in the future. We are living in literal historic times, and we're living at a time where people are trying to be post-truth. Because with AI, you can alter any image, you can fix any video recording, anybody can be made to say anything. But that makes it all the more important to have real life first person accounts. So please, a lot of people started writing their stuff down during the pandemic, and then a lot of people stopped after the pandemic was over. Now is a good time to continue.
Just journaling and things like that.
Journaling is very therapeutic. However, my ADHD makes, well, my ADD technically, makes keeping regular journal things rather difficult, unless I wanted to count like my my Facebook or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm also looking for a alternate to DeviantArt because I've filled up my space there basically,
Yeah.
and I am monstrously behind in my posting of artwork. So I need a new place to put my art, possibly to develop a new portfolio. So I will take suggestions from anyone who has one that's, of, knowledge on that subject. Because I have what? Oh, I was going to say I have a special ability almost no one else, and very few males especially on the internet have the ability to say I don't know. So if you have suggestions, please float them my way.
Yeah. Start looking into that. But you do kind of journal though too. Yeah, you have your live streams.
Yeah, I do video journals, and it
well, you don't say everything on them like a lot of people would, in a journal. Yeah, you do kind of journal. So
oh, I mean that's a good way of.
you leave a footprint.
Well, the only reason I do it is because people tell me it helps.
It does.
I don't know on that one, but I try.
You are the lamplighter. And it's not often that Joe uses his full name. And you see what I did there? You can't argue if I don't give you time to argue. People are reminding you of the time lapse. And Sarah says, speaking of names, when I was first dating and meeting the friends of my ex-hubs, people kept calling him by his last name, which is pronounced the same as my first name, kept responding to strangers. Yeah, that would be a little confusing.
That's one I've never had to worry about. Well, no, that's not true. I respond to anything that sounds vaguely like Tockert because of where I grew up. So Tucker, Tackett, Taggart.
I respond to anything that vaguely sounds like Trey. Ooh, Joe thinks the contractor might actually be wrapping up soon. Looks like they're hooking up the disconnect hangers again. I think that is the last thing they have to do. Good. Good. Sarah's laughing. Joe says, a picture. Oop, there was the pickle and taco having a conversation. Oh gosh. A clock. A clock has springs and is therefore springy. You're not wrong, and I'm not happy about it.
I was so close to drawing somebody with springy boots, like big spring heel Jack. I was really tempted to do spring heel Jack, but I wanted to be merciful.
Oop, we have Matthew Cricky in the house.
Hey Matthew, how goes the redo on your comic?
Yes, keep us updated. Foxy wanted something happy. Oh, we do go daylight savings time next week. Bring forward an hour. I have taken 1 hour from your life. How does it feel? 1 hour later of sunlight.
We were supposed to have that gone.
I thought they were getting rid of it.
They were, but now they're not.
Jerks.
Another campaign promise that was lied.
Liars. Liars. Inigo is going to be getting them up even earlier. And Carl doesn't care if the cats are hungry. He's hungry, so see us all later. We will see you, Carl. See you tonight.
See you tonight online and see you Saturday at indiecd.com.
Yeah.
You can buy your books.
And Nick, you made Dawn happy by drawing the pickle and taco.
It was an interesting request, and Trey was talking about the old days.
The good old days. Back in our day. Oh
late.
yeah. Joe's getting in some of the small tea light candles today, so that will hopefully work on the dragon lamp he printed. If it does, he might try to bang out at least one more before the con. It does look cool.
If you want to hear something absolutely hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
until just a moment ago this morning, because of the morning I've had,
Yeah.
I was panicking about when I was going to sit down and make all the wooden BSRs I'm due to make.
Oh no!
Like it was.
Well, that's a usual con worry.
Yeah.
So it's habit to worry about that.
I'm probably going to redo this picture at some other point.
Sir, what are you doing?
Because now I want to do like seasonal witches.
That's cute. I like the little blossom hat.
Thank you. Because what I want to do is really hippie her up more. So a lot of times I will do one full picture, and then I'll go, now I need to push it. Hi, Joe. We haven't seen. I'm sorry, I just saw way farther on that Jody McPhee is in the chat. Haven't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Hello.
Jody McPhee's in the chat. Let's run his ad. I haven't gotten to run his ad in a bit. We still do. So be back in about less than a minute.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Thank you, Joe. Sorry about that. I just realized he was there, and I hadn't run a commercial in a while.
No, we have not. Oh, we're 2.5 hours in. Goodness.
It's a Wednesday show, and I really do. It saves so much energy on me having you here, Trey. I don't know if you have any idea.
Leave that alone, Brett. Silly boy. But looks like Donna is hungry as well, so she's staying later. And so it is a thing about being good in either algebra or geometry and struggling with the other. Interesting. And speaking of those convos, a friend she had of 20 plus years got so far into politics and fact checking that we couldn't have a single convo without being fact checked. Just a convo, please. Judas Priest. Yeah. Sometimes you just want to have a conversation. And Donna's giving the pinky wiggles. And Sarah's asking, how close will I be to you guys when I'm in Lafayette? I saw the direction to Nichols, but are you fairly close, Joe and Trey? We are, oh God, it is, just over an hour away.
So they are 2.5 hours probably, because if you're going to be where I think you are, with traffic, it's about an hour and a half, because there's just hour and a half for me to get down to right about where BCAM lives.
Yeah.
So they're going to be an hour more.
Yeah. Well, Joe says Lafayette is probably another 20 minutes for us. Because, well, we can hit.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. If we don't swing by your place, then go to the
Yeah.
Lafayette.
If I forget, you guys take 65 places.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
works significantly faster. I don't.
We work on it, so we might as well take it.
Trelina,
Yeah.
you guys have been working on me this whole time.
Hey. I'll get you later. Ode to Billy Joe. Oofda.
See, that's called music. Anyway.
Foxy says, not to say I didn't try in algebra, at least in college, but still couldn't do it. I think if I'd ever been tested, I might have been diagnosed with dyscalculia as well. I started doing Nick's trick of the graph paper. Amazing. Amazing. And that just helps me, like, I don't have dyscalculia, but it helps me keep everything lined up.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend it to everyone now.
For my side of things, because it's right along, I found dot paper. I found one of those plastic-sided journals for dot paper.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was that revolutionary? Because anybody who's seen the way I take notes or write anything on paper, it's lots of text boxes, made stuff, text box, graphs, and having the freedom to, this is a line, this is a box, this is.
Yeah.
Between that and isometric paper. Sorry.
Losing an inch with every cut. The title of Lorena Bobbitt's autobiography. Yeah, I would say. That's awesome. Mad Magazine had you cut it off. Now what to do with it? And it was one of the funniest pages ever. Foxy's laughing. Shame, Sarah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Sarah doesn't have much in the way of shame that I know of, and that's okay.
In algebra, Sarah loved the equations that used the long way, took up an entire page. Yeah, that was fun for me. Like the moving things around and the condensing. That was fun. Joe says, the one thing that a lot of people don't seem to account for when measuring and cutting wood anymore, if you want a 2-foot board, you have to account for the width of the blade you are using. Yes. Yeah, for shame on me. For shame, yet oh so accurate.
Yeah, yes, Sarah, you've been a very bad girl. I'll take it out on you later.
Mm-hmm. I wish algebra had been fun for me, but it's always been such a struggle. I just can't make it work. You don't have to be good at everything, Foxy. Leave some things for the rest of us. Seriously, it's so gross, but can't help laughing.
I will say, guys, doing algebra is so much easier as an adult because one thing school lies to you about, and they need to fix it, is as an adult, you can check your formulas. You can check just about any job that is relatively knowledge intensive has some kind of little manual that you can keep in your pocket. And I mean, not just on this thing, which mine is full of all sorts of bizarre things, but like if you're an electrician, what you'll see is the little electrician's guides, and they're about this big. They look kind of like the Gideon Bibles.
Yep.
Or the carpenters have these little guides. Where what do I need? What are the codes?
My spec book has formulas in the beginning of it. Everybody gets a spec book. It's online.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Like when they tell you, you have to memorize this for your job. No, you don't. You don't. It's a lie.
Well, you have to learn. You have to do this way. And you have to do this way because we're teaching you for college.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Oh, YouTube hit a ton of comments. Dawn said YouTube hit a ton of comments, which is
Oh no.
dumb. Stupid. Sarah said that's a long time ago, so I don't even remember all that now. No idea if I'd feel the same way these days. Did buy an algebra book an old teacher from somewhere was selling, though, on Marketplace. Nice. Oh, 90s Raisins or, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Get out of my friggin' pool.
Thanks, Carl.
Carl was
Not
a
our
hero.
Carl, other Carl. Carl with a C.
What channel is it? I want to say it's not a channel you'd expect, so I think it's Paramount. Has C-Lab 2025.
Oh, geez, does it?
One of them has C-Lab. And
I need to look.
it was, oh God, that is the epitome. C-Lab 2021, that's what it was, because it ticks over. I don't think there was a better brain rot show.
It was great. Okay. Drinky Crow
Yes.
was complete brain rot,
Mhm.
but not kid appropriate.
Yes.
Foxy was thinking that too. And Sarah just has to relearn it to see what it's like. But how many people go out and buy a textbook? Don't come for my niece. Don't. Yeah. You are among your people, Sarah. And it was old enough that it was before new math was taught. Well, after I was in school. Yeah. Don't come for me, Sarah. I have so many textbooks. Yep. Yeah. You're among your people.
It's a little dated, but not only do I have this textbook, and I need to get I forgot they have that. They also have the companion, the Encyclopedia of Hoaxes.
Nice.
I have one copy. I say I have one copy because I have two copies. This copy is Trelana's copy.
Ooh.
This is what Trelana gets to borrow because it was requested so that she can make sure she has the title, so that she can send. Ruby's not here, but I found my copy of Scottish Fencing. So you can do that. The Wonderful World of Basket Hilts is her friend. And
Ooh, yes.
there actually is the perfect trainer for Scottish fencing, if she can handle the weight. I know she has some hand troubles. Is the Rawlings synthetic sword with the basket hilt.
Oh, yeah.
When you have the perfect trainer already in existence. Sorry, guys, I went to a little historical fencing guild there, but mentioned textbooks. I love textbooks. I am actively looking for textbooks. I am looking, and I'll put this out on the, Nevermind the Furthermore web. I am looking for a series of different subjects, including apothecary / herbalism, but not woo-woo mojo herbalism, that's currently written by crystal hugging fluff bunnies. I mean, like the actual grade willow bark tea gives you with the measurements, please.
Right. Please.
This is seriously I'm redoing all my gardens. I'm redoing all my plants. I want to have medicinal herbs and plants, as well as herbs in my garden. So any actual source material would be wonderful.
I will take a look on my shelves after the stream.
Oh yeah, I don't
I might
expect
have something for you.
Ooh, thank you. And I wasn't bashing woo-woo mojo stuff, because I have lots of woo-woo mojo stuff too. That's always welcome for one of my libraries. But I'm literally, this is part of my preparedness stuff that I'm looking into. So I heard it through the grapevine.
And Joe was going to look that up. And Foxy still has several of her college textbooks. Same.
See, that was my great tragedy. I was too poor, so I had to sell my
Oh.
textbooks back.
I sold some of them, and then I kept the ones that were most important to me that I was like, I'm going to use this in the future.
I desperately wish I could have.
Yeah. You know what? You might be able to go back to some of the um
Syllabi?
on the online stores that have the
Mhm.
previous editions and get them like dirt cheap.
I'm wondering about that, and I don't mind getting like the modern editions of the ones. It's
Yeah.
like the breakdown of Machiavelli. My problem is like the small books that were they were considered textbooks,
Yeah.
but my philosophy books I wore out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I literally I carried Machiavelli's The Prince in my back pocket for so long.
Yeah.
I wore the pages out.
Yeah. Like the bindings are falling apart.
I've had to have 3 copies of The Importance of Being Earnest. Now, part of that is I have a bad habit of getting the it's a print. I can't remember the printing company, but they've been doing cheap,
Oh.
like $2 or $3 prints of because they do it for theater, so you can pass them out. I would have The Importance of Being in Earnest, which is one of my favorite plays of all time. It's one of the funniest pieces of literature ever written.
Every man should have a hobby.
And cucumbers weren't even available for ready cash. But what would happen is I'd be reading them, and then somebody would catch me reading and laughing, and go,
"Funny.
What are you laughing about? Have you read this? Were you in the class we got in trouble for laughing in?"
I was not. I heard about it though.
No, that was
That
Dennis
was
Yakuza.
yeah. I was gonna say that was Dennis.
But we
Got in trouble for laughing at a comedy.
Yeah. She stopped the movie. Why are you laughing? I'm like, why are you stopping this movie?
It's hilarious.
Did you fall from the working class or rise from the aristocracy? This is hilarious.
That is hilarious. Like, come on, that is peak comedy.
And if you guys aren't, very, I don't want to sit and read a book, you have to find The Importance of Being Earnest, but you need the Joan Plowright version. Joan Plowright was the actress who played Lady Bracknell, and
yes,
utterly brilliant. I am saddened that I can't bring up the other actors' names because it was just a magnificent performance.
It was hysterical.
And I know it's Shakespeare in the Park, but I would drive up the hour and a half to your park to
just to watch that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I
just, not that I didn't laugh my butt off watching.
It's great. Yeah, if they did Importance of Being Earnest, I'd black bag you guys. I wouldn't need to, but I'd be like, we're going. Just get in the car.
You have no choice. Okay.
Oh, Sarah said these were prior to college, so we all had to turn in our books at the end of the school year.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Although I managed to get 2 of the textbooks from high school.
Oh.
And I don't know where they are. Actually, I know where some of them are. They got lost in the fire because a lot of the things I saved were to keep me safe at my parents' house, and they were in the back of the loft.
No.
And the chimney fire just burnt up only my things. The only things that were really destroyed in there was my most important things. And then they threw anything that was touched by smoke. So I had to I was crawling through a dumpster trying to get my memories back out before they got rid of them.
Yeah.
But I had the Earth Science, the really good Earth Science series books. And then I had my Latin. Actually, I had my friend Aaron's Latin textbook because they didn't have mine. It was number 12 instead of number 13, which was mine. Because they discontinued the Latin course after 1 year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Goat tried to steal Foxy's phone out of her pocket to eat and also tried repeatedly to headbutt her in the posterior. And then chased her around the pen making god-awful noises. Yeah, that's a goat.
Meh, meh.
Yep. Yeah, we used to have goats. My family did. Yep.
Okay, Trey.
Yeah.
You've never told me that. Please don't mention that to Amanda. She's been trying to talk me into one of those for years. And no, because those square eyes haunt my sleep. I can't do the square pupils.
I was a child and they tried to eat my hair.
Yes.
So there's that. Foxy said it looked like the taco was using a really cheesy pickup line from the look on the pickle's face. And yeah, spice sells. It looked like Aqua Teen Hunger Force met Veggie Tales. Sarah loves it.
Wow.
Oh. Since Dan isn't here and Thesis is now an artist on Bandcamp, he feels compelled to let people know First Friday is in 2 days. He needs to get a song up there. Get your song up there. The pick of the gifts from Regina and Emmy sparked that. Pick is on Dawn's Facebook page.
See if I can do this.
Grant got a list of questions from the students that he's going to talk to tonight, and that was one of the questions. How do you make the different characters look different? Good.
Oh, okay.
Good. At least they're looking forward at that.
That's a very good question.
Yes. Yeah, I have troubles sometimes with certain artists. I'm like, all you did was change the hair, and you didn't even do that. Who is this? Yeah, at least give them name tags if you don't make them look different.
Oh God, the tale of Genji. The tale of Genji. We had to watch it. And I had to explain to this woman who was teaching the class. In anime, cherry blossoms do not mean that they're ghosts.
What? Oh, my sweet summer child.
No, cherry blossoms do not mean they're ghosts. And every character was drawn identical. Identical.
Lord, it sounds like a fever dream.
It was funny because she's like, well, sir, how much do you think, what makes you think you know anything about anime? This woman came at me. At me.
Do not cite the magic to me, witch.
Well, after 2.5 years of Japanese and being here since Astro Boy was a thing, I think I know.
Oh.
Yeah, it was almost as bad as my graphic novels as literature course.
Oh.
I actually had to about be restrained at one point.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Good times. Good times.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Sarah has a couple of hardbound copies of the comic format of the Anita Blake series. A few other of the pros, but got 75% off cover price from the hardbound comic styles. Nice.
The ones that I managed to score are right over there by my pewters that I need to set back up. Okay. I don't know why it was necessary to do that, but it was necessary. Anyway. Maybe we're born with it. What?
Grant was thinking, well, Jim Lee is one of the most successful comic artists of all time, and he can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I have enough aloe for that burn.
Coming for Jim Lee. Wow. That's a good bit of spice there, Granaholic. Dang.
Just
The
make sure there's
tetragrammaton attack, you know?
just make sure you don't pull a leaf field and there's enough room for internal organs. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
Oh God.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, suggestion for your next picture from Joe. A
Mhm.
picture.
A picture.
A picture. Something colorful, which you are doing. A pickle and a taco talking to an oracle. Pickle! Is Dawn the oracle? Oh, Joe normally forgot to do the current event until the morning it was due. Luckily, I had a computer class in the morning it was due and would do it then. I would go across the street to the superfoods and pay my quarter for a newspaper and do it in the gymnasium that morning. And Foxy's saying, sounds like you, Joe. And Joe said, this is also when I learned how to set up remote access to computers, not in the same network, because the filter on the school network would occasionally block the New York Times website. The news website. Awesome. Awesome. And Foxy says, that really sounds like you. So I would remote into my computer at home, pull up an article, email it to myself, and do my report. Yeah, that still tracks. Thesis has been spending too much time around creative people. No such thing. I've got a check I need to deposit, but I could not think of the word deposit, so my brain is saying I need to install the check later today. Sounds like you've been spending too much time around Joe.
That makes perfect sense, though. That is an accurate use of the term.
Right.
I mean, see, this is where my hyper-literal Nick may have a touch of the tism mind locks on to things. Yeah, you're installing it. I mean, that makes perfect.
Right? It's being installed into your bank. Installed. Makes sense.
I forgot that.
Freaked out his mom one morning. She was up and moving and was heading towards the kitchen when she saw the computer doing things on its own. That was a fun one to explain that night at dinner.
Source.
Yep.
I realized I made a quick mistake. I got to fix.
I love that. Sorry, Mom. I needed something from home. Luckily, I was able to send the email before she pulled the power cord. You know, she did the right thing. She was like, nope, pull the power cord. Too much fluff. Like seeing online recipes when you need to hear the chef's entire life story before you can get to how to make the damn dish. I know why they do that. That's actually for copyright purposes. So they can't just copyright like the recipe. So they include the life story so they can actually like copyright all of it. So that's why they do all that. Actually, yeah. That's why a lot of them now include the jump to recipe button. Yeah, that's good. And it wasn't a bad impulse on her part. For all she knew you were being hacked, but someone, not you, right? I mean, when in doubt, yeah, just pull the plug if you think you're being hacked. Pretty sure PBS is the only news source that doesn't try to spin it somehow. Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a good reason for that. Yeah, I did explain it. Neener. Thank you. Sarah's asking, so if you put a needle through your thumb, does it hurt your voodoo doll? Oh.
Now, okay, so now we're getting into the the theory of magical entanglement, I think is right. Well, entangle works because voodoo dolls work on applied quantum entanglement. Very similar to another device that actually Trey knows of that I will not describe here because I haven't found a way to patent it yet. But technically, yes. To answer your question, by the nature of the entanglement of a voodoo doll, if a voodoo doll itself could feel pain, it would. It would be what a voodoo doll would set up would be like the story of the Corsican brothers. If a voodoo doll was alive, because they are uh, essentially contagious, and there's a word I'm looking for, and I know it because it's the not the contagious property of magic. What the hell was it? But the principle is what happens to one side always happens to the other. And it's not transmutative. Damn it! It's going to hit me later. But yes, that's part of why most curses have backlash.
Yeah.
It's sort of an instant karma kind of thing. I don't know if I was supposed to answer that question or not, but. And please don't do voodoo dolls.
Yeah, don't. Lisa says slowing down is interesting with certain arts. I have found it's easier for me to do forms at normal speed. When I need to go slowly or for instructional purposes, I lose my place and mess up. Yep.
And see, I'm going to be honest, that right there is a major sign that you need to do more and slower drills. You need to stop and you need to focus heavily on the basics. Because if you have mastery, you should be able to do the same exact movement at your slowest physical speed as your fastest. By going slow, you learn where your gaps in control are.
I actually started Ruby. I told her, I was like, okay, do it slowly. You're going to be shaky. It's going to feel, you'll feel the burn. But if you can do it slow, you can do it fast.
Well, now Thesis is, if he hasn't typed this up already, he probably is typing it up right now as a response. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Yeah, because you've never heard that one, I know. It's like, oh God. And 1 and 2, and I hope you're keeping your form up. It's important to do this. And 3.
Yeah, I've never done the sword instructors count on anyone, including myself. And it looks like Grant saw Dusty. See, when you learn your pain tolerance isn't normal. Yeah. How much pain are you feeling? Well, the normal amount.
No.
The normal amount is 0. Not for me.
I like it. So what ranks a 10 on your scale? They ran out of the numbing agent, the anesthetic, when they were doing one of my wisdom teeth that they botched.
Yeah.
And they were looking for nerves that weren't necessarily there, so they just kept grinding.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't say anything because I was afraid to move.
Yeah.
So the pain had me bend the steel arms of the chair up. So that's where I keep my 10, between that and being crushed under a ton of frozen hamburger and having to do a sit-up.
Yeah. Yeah, my 10 is my intestine twisted and was ready to explode. So, there's that. Like non-normal scales. And then they're like, oh, 10 is the worst pain you can imagine. And I'm like, I have a very vivid imagination. What? Don't tell me that. Oh, it's the nail lady. Okay.
I will let that slip. Nobody saw
it. But Sarah's laughing at the .com with the White House when she was working at the call center. Besides squirting Orajel into her mouth and resuming when it got a rude person, we also had a number that was 1 digit off from a corny number. You can only imagine, and it could easily be mistaken, so we didn't get in trouble. Gotta love my mid-20s. Oh no, dysentery is making a comeback. Oh, awesome.
Yes, I have heard that, and I think I think guys, we can't stop people from being idiots, but we can prevent our own idiocy. Please get all your vaccinations.
Yes, be as safe as you possibly can. If you can get them, please get them. If you can't, that's why the rest of us should please get them.
Yep. Somebody said 2025 is just 25 2020s in a raincoat.
Right? Where I was hoping the Roaring Twenties would not include, all the plagues, but here we are. Here we are. Oop, contractor is done for Joe.
So when are you getting your flapper dressed?
Yeah. Oh, I'll just dress like an Edwardian girl.
Who wants hairpins? We got hairpins.
I do have a Stevie Nicks hat.
See?
See?
You know what you could do? You could like crochet the little flapper hair wig.
Yes,
Oh, that would be adorable.
that would be fun.
Honestly, if you did a like obviously not this one, but like for StompCon crocheted wigs,
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
especially if you like did the Aquanet version so you could get the anime.
Oh yeah, like the super rainbow bright ones. That would be fun.
Just even a Super Saiyan.
Oh, that would be fun.
Of course, you could probably do that with felt too, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Or, it'd be hot, but who cares about
Oh.
temperature?
Oh, it would be so warm. So very warm. I don't think Joe realized just how thick my hair was compared to other people's hair. Because I got it cut. And then when she used the hair dryer to get all the hair off of me, it was like a snow globe, but dark.
Uh-huh.
It was like de-shedding a husky. And he's like, why? And I was like, because the hair. So I was like, okay, next time the family has a get together, touch my hair, then touch my sister's, and you'll find out. Yeah, you know the struggle. You know the struggle. But
I
yeah.
do love New Coke. Don't think I don't love New Coke.
But my hair is doubly as thick as hers.
Uh-huh.
And I think he thinks that's normal. Like I have the normal amount of hair.
Yeah.
She does. So yeah.
I should stop calling her New Coke. Nah, it's funny.
I told her about Coke Zero for Trini, and she thought it was absolutely hysterical. And she's like, "No, that's accurate." But thesis will be offensive to anti-vaxxers. So much better than the requirement of an insanely expensive Texas Instrument calculators mandatory for classes. They were so expensive.
I'm a geek, and I have to be careful around stationery.
Yep.
And things like that.
Yeah.
I was at the Walmart in Lafayette, and I happened by the calculator aisle.
Yep.
And they have the real view calculators.
Okay.
The ones where if you're doing fractions, it looks like a fraction. If you're doing things, and I'm just looking at these going, I wanted one of those, and they were like $120 back. Now it's $11.
Yeah, my TI 83 Plus was $125 when I needed it for college.
Yep.
And it was like locked in a case.
Yep.
Yeah, now it's just like here, just have it.
I bought one at Goodwill for $3.
Yeah.
And Mandy's like, why?
Because I can.
And she realized what it was, and she went, I understand.
Yeah.
It is weird when you see things of your youth in museums.
Okay, so the whole millennial exhibit. This is a bird. This is a bird. It's a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They did not need to come at us quite that hard.
My knees already hurt. Why did they have to hit him again?
Suck it.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. This is the result. Natasha's saying, teachers back in the day, you need to learn the maths. You won't always have a calculator. Meanwhile, in the future, false. Calculator is everywhere. Calculator is eternal. Yep. Sarah couldn't get through statistics in college, a chapter per session, got the Cliff's notes of it, and still didn't get it. I was terrible at statistics. Absolutely terrible. Dawn loved stats, but college prof was such a that she hated it by the end of the class. Yeah, that sucks. Green room stories from Dawn on that. Thesis's geometry teacher was hot. Maybe that's why I enjoyed the class more than algebra from Mr. Rogers. Oop. Tasha has to chuck the laundry in the washer. Fun. And moving from one state to the opposite and due to what I need to do and have is going to be interesting in these times.
Well,
yep. You'll make it, Sarah.
There is still a chance that Illinois may move with you because there are a couple motions where the south part of Illinois and the south part of Indiana are more Republican than Democrat, and they're annoyed at the split. So, I think there needs to be 3 states. You need Greater Chicagoland, and then, like the city-state of Chicago, Athens style, and then you have like the mid-state of Corneanda, and then,
oh, jeez.
South Corneana is obviously the southern part of both states.
There we go. Oh, over on Twitch we have Kane's Chains. Hey Al, how you doing? Good morning. And Dark Moon Miracle says it helps. Hello, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Dark Moon, been a bit. Always good to hear
right?
from you.
Sarah says the biggest perk is that it's a university location, so it's not all oppressive like here. A fresh, clean start in the midst of diversity and inclusion. Can be myself, and yes, I'm on board. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy that a lot more than where you're at.
Absolutely. And you guys are motivating me to have to admit that I may actually have to go, okay, I need assistance getting the backyard in shape to do all the knife and sword stuff. Because you want to learn to sword fight and throw knives and probably archery, possibly other shenanigans. I got to get the stuff in order for the guilty types.
Shenanigans.
What?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, yes.
And Sarah's looking into working at Purdue, so maybe that's where I can retire from. Universities are fun to work for, and all the benefits kick in at the date of hiring. Yes. Nice. And Jody McPhee. Hi, all. Slow day right now. I get to watch for a bit. Hello. Long time no see. And greetings. Gotcha with how much closer we'll be. Setting up a gathering sometime when I'm there. Work equals working on making it happen when we are all free equals epicness. A lot of perks of moving over there while sacrificing other things, but it's really looking better in Lafayette. It's good to see the drawing stream portion is a part of NTF.
Oops.
Every Wednesday.
This one's running a little longer than I planned to because I had plans to do other things today. So naturally, I'm slow and artsy. But
I've also had a lot of Furthermore today.
Yep. It's been a good one, though. This has been a fun stream.
Foxy said it's a fun time.
As long as everybody's happy.
Sarah said, dude, yes, to the textbooks. Tash said, okay, got carried away. Lol, laundry is in. Dishes are caught up, and my receipts are mostly squared away for taxes. When the motivation hits, write it. Yes. You have to. I got some hats done for the con coming up this weekend, and I was like, I got to do it while I can do it. I got to do it while I can do it. Sarah loves the convos during the drawing streams on Wednesdays. We go all over. Yeah, can be random. We go all over the place on Wednesdays. Random is the way to be. Good job, Tash. I understand the movement thing. Thanks to Foxy. Remember to do the odd numbers in the math book since I can check my answers in the back. Weird what memories come back to the mind when starting. Oh, God, I forgot that they did that. It was always the odd numbers were in the back of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Foxy
I'm going to
made her-
revisit the Switch with a proper pose.
It's
I mean,
cute.
not today, but I'm going to revisit her. I like her.
Yes.
Sorry.
Foxy made her own willow bark tea as a teen. Nice. Sisters greeting Al. I'd certainly advise mixing with something that tastes better. Yeah, I think it's astringent, if I remember correctly. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's like the great bane of my existence is you can find out which things have medicinal properties, but finding out proper dosages and prep is a nightmare. And I don't know why that information would be suppressed.
No. Sarah got the math and grammar books from a retired high school teacher. She was the sweetest person as we got to chatting. I love that. Carl came back, and the first thing is Foxy getting butted in the posterior and being chased. Was I there? She is a redhead, so I'm sure you would enjoy that. Donna said, "You asked Trey not to say anything. How about the rest of us?" Not a word.
Not say anything about what?
I think it was in reference to what we were talking about at the voodoo section.
Oh, the hoodoo, yeah.
Voodoo. Foxy's saying, not that time, just a crazy goat. I mean, was it Carl? Was it?
I mean, saying crazy goat does not actually.
It doesn't take him out of the equation yet. Nothing but love, Carl. Poor Jody is lost. Welcome to the club. Just smile and nod, Jody McPhee. Just smile and nod. Don't worry about it. We have so many random thoughts conversations.
It's Wednesday.
Right.
And well, it's hump day, so we make sure to mind our viewers.
That's all that goat was trying to do. Jody just noticed the dragonfly in the picture.
Oh, thank you.
That was about 20 minutes ago.
Well, still thank you.
Right? Greetings to Jody. Greetings back to Carl. And Foxy likes dragonflies. They eat the little blood-sucking demons that chase me about. Amen.
Any design that's been around as long as a dragonfly has, as an engineer and tinkerer, I just have to appreciate. You want to talk about you got it right on the first try kind of thing. Dang. Sorry, go on.
Nick, next time you see Dale in the chat, ask if he still has Don's textbooks, and if so, if any you may want.
I appreciate that. On that subject, I want to encourage my viewers to make sure you have access to things like textbooks and hard copies of cultural reference, because in the event that things get spicier than maybe we like, having those tucked away somewhere might not be a bad idea. Sorry, go
on. Sarah said, if you have softbound of the same Anita Blake books and would like the hardcover ones, I wouldn't mind trading them. You're mint condition.
I only have a few floppies, but I mean.
Carl left for lunch and came back and is lost too. Jody must just roll with it. I'm so lost. Are these new or older comments? I am only like 20 minutes behind. It's okay. It's good. It's good. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Ooh. Sarah still also has the Funko Pop of Elvira in the red dress ready to go over to you as well. Foxy's saying older. I haven't caught up to here yet. I'm working on them.
Yeah, that'll do.
Jody shrugs. I will just listen as I work. And Trey and Nick are just very behind on comments. So some comments are from what they are saying now, and some are in response to current chat comments. The how to make characters look different is more of a lack of imagination issue than a technical drawing problem. I think sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
So sometimes people, I've seen people just only able to draw one form over and over and over again.
That's why Joe Mads is what most people know him as, is one of, if not, it's between him and J. Scott Cunningham for my favorite comic artists. But Mads can really, I mean, his character designs are so dramatically varied, but he has a very nifty aesthetic, though it's a little controversial because he didn't finish it and there were some things. If you guys look up, I'm sure, I know Jody knows about this, a title called Battle Chasers. I have the trade paperback floating somewhere. Amazing variety of art design. It's if I said it looks like the more detailed Western version of Whack Fu, if anybody watched the Whack Fu series, but I'm very, very, very bold line weights, different facial structures. Hang on, let me just wrap this up, and I will address that. But export, because this one's cute. Like I said, I'm going to redo this character because I felt the need to go full on early aughts and make her have heterochromia, because I haven't done that in a long time. But I didn't break out the highlighters, so it's not too bad. This feels like something I would have drawn passionately in 2008, which, you know, there is a point where you forget. It's like my art looks the same. It's like, no, the very best, amazingest thing I could draw then is now my baseline. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is not pushing in any way, shape, or form. So you got to weigh your development a bit. But let me get this knocked out because we're almost done with this part. And we're going to go here, maybe. Are you going to let me do it? Why aren't you letting me do it? I say, We're there. We're there. Should go. There we go. I just have to do this or else I will forget and then be annoyed to find it later when I'm setting up the videos. And now comes the placement trick. No. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do it right there. This one's not really good for the logo, but that's okay. Now, file, export single layer, JPEG, and see I put up the wrong one so you can't see where I'm going. NTF 314, I believe. 25, and we go there. Okay. What gets me is when Western style artists can't draw characters that look the same. I not draw characters and have them not be identifiable. Because if I do an real quick anime sketch, right? So let's just real quick. I need to eat something, so we'll have.
You're going to anime stuff?
I usually do anime stuff, son. You can come watch. So I'm going to just really fast do a very, very crude, very simple Hi, this is on the side of every notebook I've ever drawn, done math in. If you watch a lot of anime, you will find often many of the characters. Yeah, you see the tremble in my line. That tells you my hands are shaking. Okay, we're just going to generify this. And wow, yeah, I really do. I will be leaving to eat in a moment. But okay, we got this guy right. What we're going to do is here, grab this, copy, copy, copy. Okay, cool. Now we'll just, grab him, move one of them over here. Yoink. Boom. Okay. I got to do this a couple times. Move him over here. I think I did 4 of them, so let me just. Okay. And then, oh, am I on the wrong layer? I'm on the wrong layer. Undo that. 1 second. Doing layer navigation is tricky. Here we go. And we'll move this one over. Oh, there's no object to transform? Cool. Okay, never mind. Then we only have 3 of them. Cool. Anyway, then let's do this because they're not centered and it's going to drive me nuts. Dang it. Stop it. Okay. Anime characters look very similar a lot of the time. Again, apologize the shakiness because I've got a little bit of tremble to my hand. So in anime, they will delineate characters by excluding the tropes of hairstyle. So pull out my Millipen, and we're going to just give them the generic anime hair, but it will expound on my point. Because here, we're going to give this guy like super generic anime protagonist hair. It's so big it goes off the screen. You know, that Lisa Simpson on crack hair. And because he's got that Digimon energy, we're going to add goggles. And again, pardon the shakiness in my hands. After I talk about this, I'll be wrapping up because I have shaky hands right now. And that means I need to eat more. Okay. This character, because it's anime, we will give the classic middle part to. And we'll just do this. We'll do this. Still give the spike. And we'll just do this. This is clearly a support character. What's funny is I could almost tell you the hair colors by looking at them. Because like this guy here, the first guy is definitely going to have that, I'm the main character. So you're going to get that orange-haired, oh, wrong. I made an error there. Well, I'll fix that later. We'll get to that later. But he'd be orange-haired. This character was obviously support character because it's not as impressive. And they're probably a blue or a green. Nonetheless, user incorrect. Don't think that's because you live in a college town. It will be in. Okay, thesis.
Oh, I'm just scrolling through them so that you can get out at the end of it.
Thesis, you live in Utah. I think the state makeup of Utah has a lot more to do with it than the inclusiveness. And yeah, definitely. But no, Lafayette / West Lafayette is is fairly inclusive, especially for this region. You see other nationalities / ethnicities than mayonnaise-based white people. It's
Mayonnaise
awful.
squeeze.
Nope. Let's see. I may just do like a draw class kind of thing on drawing different characters, because I wanted to do an extreme version of, easy similarity. It's not hard to make characters identifiable, even if you're starting with very similar characters by just playing with the hair. Or head shape. So if we go here, let's go. Fine. We're gonna have fun with this dude's head shape. You can use a basic triangle kind of focus to give a certain kind of shape. And again, this is very, we'll just throw some jaggedy hairlines. It doesn't really matter for the purpose of this. So we're basing this off of, standard downward triangle. You could have the classic Bruce Timm. We'll just keep it simple. Yeah. It's a very boxy shape. Now, I'm saying Bruce Timm because I love the Batman the Animated Series, Superman Adventures, all that. But one of my greatest beefs are, look, they would do the whole playing the music and look how attractive this female character is. And they all look the same, except for like a couple named characters. Like Amanda Waller got to be fat. And the way you could tell somebody was an important character on Batman, definitely Superman. I mean, Superman was somehow worse about it. And any of the Justice Leagues. Eyes are open a little. Oh, it's such a breath of fresh air. Yeah. But everybody was built like Wonder Woman. I mean, like, and then everybody, yep, Nick Duke. I can, like I said, right now my hands are a little shaky because it's the end of a 3.5 hour stream.
Yeah.
But let me give him.
I got to duck real quick.
Yeah. Okay. That's on. And then you might have somebody, and I'm just doing this as fast reference, but with a round head shape.
There we go. Sorry, I had to open the door for Joe.
Oh, that's fine.
We locked the storm door, so the kitty cat playing with the birds outside didn't lead to him falling outside. Hi, puppy.
Oh. Now these aren't great characters because again, I'm not. But you can look at all these 6 heads, and they are very, very different character shapes. They'd all be. You have a delivery.
Thank you, love.
Yes, hi, love. Anyway, so if I, in my cruddy art with a shaky hand because, it's time to eat, can draw this, there's no excuse for the big pros not to. Okay? Make your characters look different. Now, I am going to close this up. Firm, save. Oh, God. We'll just do that. Save. 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 All right. And we will go here. Let's see. How many comments do we have to knock through?
They're still rolling in, but we're towards the end.
Okay. I'm going to run an ad because I need to get something to drink.
Yep.
So let's see. Yeah, we'll run Indie CD. Actually, no, we'll run Mags. Ha! What I love is I'll run an ad and I'll go get something like my lovely bootleg brand. Actually, this is Shasta. Shasta, not sponsored, but hook me up. Cream soda. I know by all the ads music how long I have to do anything in the house.
Yep.
My problem is I made the cardinal sin of forgetting to put my shoes on for the stream.
Oh, no.
So there is 0 traction. So it's skate around the house in Turbo Penguin mode.
You're just drifting around corners. That's it.
Poor Dusty got in front of me in the Narrows.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Deliveries. It's just replacement feathers for the toy that Hobo likes back here.
rock on.
So that's all that was.
That reminds me, I have to find those. I have to gather up all the things that I plan to give people that I'm going to see at the convention. Because I have something for BKM, who's supposed to show up. I have something for Trey. Food does sound good. Food always sounds good.
You need to eat. It's been 3.5 hours and you're still recovering.
I do need to eat. I pushed it a little too hard and I still have a 3-hour drive today.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do then is, instead of prattling, let me look at the comments real quick.
We've got.
Oh, we're at food. Food just sounds good. Okay, yep. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, Anne. I'm going to run a couple ads and then we'll wrap up if you don't mind. Let's see.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho. Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Hi, bunnies. This is Robin Yoda, just wanting to let you know I have a Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Robin Yoda. You can catch me there Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific playing Stardew Valley. Saturdays at 2 p.m. playing The Sims 4, and Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific, playing a random game from my Game Pass library. You can also find me Mondays on my YouTube channel, Robin Yoda the Lilac Bunny. I hope to see you all there. Thanks for watching.
Thank you guys for being. I got one more ad to run because it's not a normal day if I don't run this ad. And you guys know, so be right back.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
That's right, folks. We need to let all of us art because it's nearly Indie CD and we have a lot to create. So I'm going to let you get to it, guys. Trey, is there anything you want to promote?
Show tonight at our usual time.
Over on the Indie CD Creative. Indie CD Creative. Independent Creator Directory YouTube channel.
YouTube and our Kick channel.
And your Kick. And
Yep,
Twitch.
and Twitch. Then your shows on Friday.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of doing a pre-recorded show to cover the Historical Fencing Guild part.
Yeah,
because
sense.
we can't get into the stream, get into the site till you guys will be invited. The vendors are getting in at 7. The door, if you
Saturday
want,
morning?
Friday morning.
Okay, we won't be there Friday.
I'm sorry, Friday night. If you want to set up ahead of time.
Okay.
We'll be setting up at about 7. We should be ready for you guys to come in to set up your booths and stuff.
Okay, we probably won't be there Friday.
Oh, that's fine. I'm just putting that out for anybody
Saturday.
who needs to. And then Saturday, the site opens at 10. We're planning to be there by 9.
Okay.
Because it shouldn't take more than an hour for anybody to get set up.
Yeah, no.
And beyond that, it should be good to go. So, guys, keep writing, keep drawing, keep creating, because as long as you do, you can edit it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you, and you should too, and we will see you all very soon. Toodles!